Apologies, I did have it muted. Sorry about that, guys. How we doing? How we doing, everybody? We golden? Who we got in the chat? Megatron, Guta, Throny, Astra, S6, McMole, number dos. That's everybody. Hi, guys. How we doing? Better now that I'm live. Oh, thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Oh. Is it time for a nap yet? Can we just do tribe naps? Is that a thing? Is tribe naps a thing? Can we make tribe naps a thing? I'm not sure. Some people can pay to just be sleeping on their streams. Can I be one of those guys? Can I be one of those guys that just gets paid to sleep on stream? I'd like that. That'd be huge. That would be huge. Megatron, getting your red box. Hell yes, brother. Congratulations, dude. You drove 400 miles today. Jesus Christ, dude. Where are you driving to? The moon? You driving to the moon, pal? Jammy, how you doing, buddy? Finished up your 4th Conquest Red Crate in a row earlier today on your main, and you're else looking at getting R7 Grand Inquisitor before the next TB. That's huge, Astra. Oh, you drive for Uber. Okay. Sorry, for some reason I thought you were just doing like some massive cross-country road trip or something. But driving for Uber also makes a lot of sense. 3 airport runs. Nice. I bet that's fun. Airports, busy place, stressful places. Will, how you doing, buddy? Axel coming in with a resub for the tribe. Thank you, Axel. Appreciate you. Nearly been here a whole year, good sir. Axel has nearly been a member of the tribe, subscribed over on Twitch for nearly a whole year, 11 months on the bounce. Thank you kindly. You are very welcome, Axel. I am here to try my best to entertain. Try my best. Haven't played since Thanksgiving, and the Castle Run gave you 500 bonus energy. That's huge, Burrito. I wish the Castle Run would give me 500 bonus energy. I could definitely do with 500 bonus energy. Well, actually, truth be told, I could take it or leave it. I could take it or leave it. If there is an enemy turret or handmaiden, Ray can't lose untargetable. What? They're already going to rework my girl Ray. If there's an enemy turret or handmaiden, Ray can't lose untargetable. So you can't win the team. You can't win the fight. Interesting. I had Red Crate like 3-4 days ago. So, yeah. I Red Crated very quickly this time because it's an easy one and there's loads of energy for me to get. So, I bought the I bought that 7-day calendar that gives you 600 energy a day at the Pass Plus, which I don't normally do. I just did it this time because it's the first set of a new Conquest, and I always do it for the first set of a new Conquest because when I'm making videos, I really like to be able to swap data discs for free. I benefit from having the extra energy and the extra stamina, just because I end up making those videos in like 3-4, well, maybe 5-6 days. I have not, MJ. So yeah, so I've had a lot of energy, but I've not been doing any energy refreshes on Conquest because of, well, you know, the last 2 days, because I've just had that energy from the calendar. Apologies. Transformers 1 was a splendid film for both adults and kids. The best Transformers. Ah, very good. Yeah, I've not seen it. Last film I went to see in the cinema. What was it? Oh, I saw Venom: The Last Dance. That's the last film I saw. That was me. It was okay. Had its moments. Not great. Hey, Alone. How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the stream. We'll be starting shortly. Just getting set up here, getting warmed up, as it were. It was a commercial for Null. It wasn't great. It wasn't the worst film in the world. It had its moments, a couple of funny scenes. That's about it. You know, I don't dislike it. It definitely felt like it suffered from a lack of a villain. Obviously, there were people there were people that were obviously antagonists within the show, and Null is supposed to be the big bad, but it doesn't really matter if you never actually do anything against the big bad, right? They had the xenophages or whatever they're called as a villain, but you know, there's no emotional investment there. You don't really care, do you? So it's like, okay. They needed something to tie it together a bit better, I think. You're a huge Venom fan, but didn't really enjoy The Last Dance? Yeah, that's fair. So, yeah, like I said, I didn't hate it, but I don't think it was amazing either. I'd quite happily watch Tom Hardy play Venom. I think he does fine in the role. I think he's a good actor, he's funny, he's comedic. So I'd quite happily watch him be Eddie Brock and play Venom, but the film was just middle of the road. People are already shitting on Skeleton Crew. It's not even out yet. How are people shitting on it? But whatever. That is the day and age that we live in. People just want to be angry at anything and everything right now. All right. I'm going to go call in my wonderful compatriots over here. And fix my camera. Do. Oh, yeah. Do. Do. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that came out of nowhere. I apologize for your eardrums. Hey, Carth, how you doing, buddy?
Better than you, apparently.
Wolf.
Yeah, right? Jeez.
My chest, it hurts.
You all right there?
I think I breathed in with a little bit of Bailey's in my mouth, and it went in my windpipe. And
breathing is difficult.
I mean, I struggle with the simplest of
stuff.
tasks. So even if it's supposed to be, you know, like a reaction
Megatron.
of the body, you know.
Megatron goes, hairball!
Hairball! Yeah. Hello, gents.
How are you?
Yeah, apart from trying to suffocate myself.
Yeah, apart from dying.
Other than that,
There are better ways to go about that.
Dumb ways to die. So many
damn ways to
Wait, no. Under a juicy pair of thighs.
That's not a dumb way to die. That's a glorious
That's a
way to die.
fantastic way to die.
I mean,
By snoo!
I mean, to be fair, it depends whose juicy thighs we're talking about. Because if it's like Peter Griffin's thighs, those are juicy, but would I want to die under there? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know if I would define those thighs as juicy though. I mean, that's a weird descriptor to use for Peter Griffin's thighs. You know?
I mean,
Just saying.
he's got some thighs, bro.
I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't say they're juicy.
Oh, wow. I think we need to get a definition of juicy up and see.
All right, we need a ruling.
Right,
Somebody
semantics, let's do this.
Uh-oh.
What is the definition of juicy and juicy thighs?
Oh, God.
Jam, you're not wrong, buddy.
You know when you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jamie, what's going on, dear? How you doing?
You know it when you see it.
Jamie says Bailey's is the worst drink to upchuck in fairness. Oh,
It's
God. Yeah,
horrendous to upchuck.
No,
One of my earliest memories of drinking is when I was a wee lad, 17 years old, and I drank. I had a bottle of Bailey's with several bottles of what's known in the UK as WKD. They're Alka-Pops. Those are carbonated, very low alcohol drinks. It's basically like drinking pop, soda, and that shit curdles. That shit. You don't drink Bailey's. It's a creamy drink with something that has got bubbles in it. That's a recipe for disaster. Trust me, and trust my friend's couch, because I woke up rather violently, throwing up everywhere. It was a good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be straight up. I was always weirded out by the thought of White Russians and everything, because I figure alcohol and isn't that gonna make it curdle? It just doesn't sound like it would be a great combination. I know like a heavy cream, it doesn't curdle immediately, but still, it just sounds like a bad fucking idea. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, on my dad's wedding many years ago. My brother's girlfriend at the time convinced me to do a shot of Bailey's with a shot of lime, lime cordial. And she said, you got to keep it in your mouth and then shake your head violently. And it just curdles in your mouth immediately, and it's fucking vile. I was like, but isn't it going to be curdle? She's like, no, it tastes really nice. I was like, okay, I'll do it. I was still pretty young at the time. I did it. It was just like, it's like almost like throw up just forms in your mouth immediately. It's the same sort of texture and consistency. It is gross.
Okay, so I gotta ask, did she actually think it was nice, or was she fucking with you?
No, she was fucking with me.
Okay,
yes.
I wasn't sure. Look, you never know.
you never know. You never know. I was a young, impressionable, and very gullible stud of a man. And I still have that sensation is burned into my memory. So, I don't recommend. But if ever you want to be a dick to somebody, you can get them to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hey Desi, how you doing?
A method.
Oh my god. Yeah. So, but despite all of that, I will still engage in the occasional glass of Bailey's, particularly at Christmas time. It feels like a Christmas drink to me. We will be discussing that, Luminous.
I'm not opposed to Bailey's. Well, I think I would say Bailey's just like in coffee though, like not with something else.
Oh, I usually just have it with ice. A little bit of ice, Bailey's, that's it. But Bailey's in a coffee is rather quite nice. And Bailey's in a hot chocolate, if you've ever had that as well. That's rather nice.
Yeah. See, Bailey's itself, I'm not... Oh, yeah, dude, in a hot chocolate. Fuck yeah. I would say Bailey's itself, I'm not, I don't have as much of a problem with it. I know it's a cream liqueur and everything, but it's crafted to be as such. It's not like you're mixing vodka in with cream, and it just... That feels like a recipe for disaster. This is, actually crafted to be as such, and, so that one I'm more on board with.
Exactly. Have you ever had a mini Guinness? Or a baby Guinness, they call them?
A baby Guinness?
Yeah. I've
had Guinness.
Yeah, so a baby Guinness is Tia Maria, which is a coffee liqueur. And you float Bailey's on top, so it looks like a little pint of Guinness, but it's obviously in a shot glass. It doesn't have to be Tia Maria, of course. It could be any sort of coffee liqueur, like Kahlua or something like that, So, but that's actually really tasty. But yeah.
Indeed.
What's going on, OC? Sunday Scaries are here. I joined to hear a discussion about hot chocolate and Bailey's. The world is suddenly okay. Nobody likes the Sunday Scaries, OC. I'm a big sufferer of the Sunday Scaries, especially right now because Mrs. Scribbles is away. She's been away since Saturday morning, and she's not coming back till Tuesday. So I'm just here alone, and I don't like it.
Well, alone with both Smudgy and Indy.
Yeah, Smudgy and Indy are here. Little Milo man has gone. Well, he's gone on the travels with Mrs. Scribbles. Okay. Yeah, she takes him with her when she goes to see her mum. So
fair enough.
Yeah, because they like to see little Milo man as well. The little yog. Oh, we can see wonderful Wolfie's face. Maybe if I go over here and it'll immediately be like... Mr.
Carthrick is blacked out. Hey, here's a Carth.
Carthrick's got blacked? Hang on, what?
He was blacked out.
Oh, sorry. Sorry,
He had
that's...
a
Don't you
lens
worry your sweet
cover.
little head about it, okay? Goddamn.
I said, oh goddamn. Let's do this and then do. Hang on. I need to. Okay, so the proportions need to be correct. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
The
wide
proportions need to
load.
be proportioned. What's up?
I'm just fucking around with camera settings. You know me.
Way to be.
Oh, Wolfie. There's Wolfie. Now let's fix Carthrick. Carthrick. There he is. Look at that handsome face. He's a very jolly guy. Wait, where's Wolfie? That doesn't make any sort of sense.
Uh-oh.
I'm confused. Hold up, we need to fix this.
I'm still
it's
just
because
a
of
wolf.
this. It's because of this. I see now.
I don't.
Do.
Now I do.
And if we do...
Man, zoom me out. You had me zoomed in like crazy last time on Friday.
It's because I'm drunk, Wolfie. Or I was.
You're like, I am eternally drunk.
I mean...
Aren't you paying attention?
That's not far from the truth be told. See, now you zoomed in as fuck. We can get you smaller. We have the technology. We can smallenize him.
Usually not the words I like to hear.
Make me bigger, damn it. That's what I always tell my doctor. There we go. Got a rather handsome wolf over there. So now if I go over here... Oh, would you look at that? There's 3 rather handsome people.
Hey!
Hey! What's going on?
How you doing?
Okay, so we're gonna have a guest on the chat today.
So you mean you're gonna have to redo the cameras again?
Hopefully not, because he's not gonna be on camera, and I'm hoping that's not gonna fuck up the cameras. Because you guys should still stay in the same position on Discord, and he should come down by me. I hope. Famous last words. Who's the guest?
Allegedly.
The guest is in the chat right now, but hopefully the guest is going to be also in the voice chat in a moment. I'm just going to add him in. Hold on. I can't do that just yet, because I need to add him as a Discord friend.
We'll do it up.
Yeah.
Clickety clackety clackety clickety.
Clickety clack. Nate, you're not allowed on the show, dude. I told you before. Not after you exposed yourself last time. Oh, that was in my DMs. That wasn't live on stream. Don't worry about it. Too handsome? Thank you. I am, yeah. I'm glad you noticed. Somebody had to, because these 2 fucks never say I'm handsome.
Well,
I mean, it's implied, right?
It's implied when we say, "What's up, dickhead?"
Yeah. Right? See, implied.
Yeah.
Just have a hard time lying to the general public, that's all.
Yeah. That's fine.
We do not promote misinformation on this channel, on this podcast. Sorry.
I mean,
we
do,
I guess
just
There we
much
go.
more selectively.
I was right. I didn't have to fuck around and move your faces again. That's good. Welcome to our guest.
Right.
He is a former Star Wars Galaxy content creator and a relapsed gamer, I guess we would call him at this point. Relapsed into the addiction. Hi, McMole. How you doing, buddy?
Hi. For some reason, my cord changed the speaker for a second there. Now we're good.
Now we're good. Okay. Yes. So I feel like I haven't spoken to you in ages, McMole.
Oh yeah, totally. We haven't spoken in the last like 3 hours or anything.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's a weird old place to be. So everybody that doesn't know, I don't know how many people here remember McMole's videos of old, but he is an OG of the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content creation universe, and put out some rather spiffing videos on raid content that taught me how to raid in the early days. So yes, he's very welcome. He can stay as long as you want, McMole. We usually just talk bollocks here for an undefined amount of time.
Yes.
We try to say that on the Tribe Talks, we exclusively talk about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and nothing else, with a very strict, tight-run ship, a very regimented agenda of whatever we happen to roll into. So
Satisfactory started their Fixmas event today. It was so much. Sorry.
That's about on brand. That's about on brand.
And we take a hard left.
Mm-hmm. Occasionally, we might talk about things like there's a kit reveal for General What's-a-Tits, Syndulla, and we might start talking about that and diverge off into. Do you remember that one time at band camp? But the idea is just to have some fun. So
I'm very much with you on that.
Good.
Attention,
good.
I just start drifting.
Yes, yeah. My attention. If I do steer off into the distance, no, it's not that I'm not interested in the conversation. It's just I really don't want to talk, and you'll have to pick up the slack. So. Hi everybody, welcome to episode 51. I can't believe it, we're nearly at a year's worth of episodes. Isn't that incredible? Because this is weekly, not if it was daily. Could you imagine doing a daily podcast? Oh my god.
Dude.
You know,
I mean, if
how
that
much
was your
more
full-time
we'd have
job,
to bullshit.
We'd have to really drag up stuff.
We could really drag it out, bro.
Oh, you'd have to
yeah.
every single update post would be its own podcast. You'd have to slow down and just
Kit reveals we'd have to do like one episode per ability.
There you go.
So it's like, today we're going to talk about General Hera Syndulla. She has got the Spectre tag. Let's talk about the Spectre tag and see if we can drag that out for 3 hours.
Well, we
probably
the
could.
Spectre was the squad in the Phoenix over there, and they were all made up. We can do it.
We could do it.
I do like how they go through so much effort to explain why Zeb isn't getting the Spectre tag, and then literally in all of Hera's kit, it's like, if Zeb is present, it's like, I get it, because it's there for some reason. There's got to be a weird way that Zeb will interact with Ahsoka where they don't want that to overlap.
Yeah,
but in my head I'm like, really, like, what is Zeb gonna do in his kit that's just like under a GL Ahsoka is gonna be like, and he one shots the enemy GL? It's like,
for me, it's just the goddamn humor where they go, so Zeb, he knows Hera and they done a lot of shit together, but we don't actually want him to be on the team, so we just gave him a bunch of synergy, but we don't want you to actually use him.
Yeah, they specifically say we don't want him to be on Hera's team. But also, here's a bunch of call-outs for Hera.
That must have been a typo.
What the damn hell? I don't know what they're smoking with that one.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that forum post right now. It's odd. Yeah, they say we don't want to include her. We don't want to include him in either her or Ahsoka Tano's squad. And it's like, but then why does everything have call outs?
Yeah, that's
everything.
That's a fat typo.
Now, I'm sort of assuming that once we get the next Mandalorian, the movie, or once we get the next episode of Ahsoka, that there might be some actual Zeb, in the new shows over there. So they'll probably be able to bring us a new Zeb, a new kit, a new everything, with that
Galactic Republic Zeb.
Or
New Republic
Zeb. New Republic
Zeb. New Republic Zeb.
That'll be like the new one that can go on the team with the Spectre tag. But it's just the silliest fucking thing in the world.
Am I misremembering, or didn't they say as part of her kit? I might have been drunk when I read it. Not sure, but didn't they say in her kit reveal somewhere that they said if brackets when we release the New Republic tag, she's going to be a contender to get that tag?
I think they said if or when.
That
if
when
that tag makes sense to retroactively add to General Syndulla.
Yeah, so that maybe
we brought that up before. Like a New Republic tag would make sense.
Well, I mean, I still thought that the entire Spectre squad was just going to be New Republic. In my mind, it makes more sense than fucking Spectre. But what do I know?
We're paying homage to something that happened 10 years prior, or 20, or something like that.
Yeah. I remember Hu Yang being a part of the Spectres. Yeah.
I guess they're really hoping, like, maybe for the future there might be a New Republic Galactic Legend, they can release to synergize with New Republic sort of stuff.
I mean, I think there's
maybe
just
they could
way
get something,
better.
but-
There's way better content to pull from for New Republic, and they're doing the same thing they're doing with Hut Cartel. So they're just putting it in its box, and it's much easier to balance from that perspective, versus giving something more ambiguous that they'll have to try to quarantine later when they add more characters.
Yeah. It's definitely it's definitely them. It just thinking about game balancing and issues and trying to control to as much as they possibly can what will synergize and what will work. Because I do fully expect New Republic to be a tag, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get that in the future when we see all the culmination of the Ahsoka series and Mando and Grogu and stuff like that. I'm sure it'll all make sense in the next year or two. 2 years, probably.
Indeed. And we'll see what the final team ends up looking like, because they've actually, like, they've given us the full team. So do we think that we're just going to go with, like, the fully prescribed, that's it sort of team?
Yeah.
Or are you guys
There's no way
mix
you go anywhere else.
anything up at all?
No, there's no way you go anywhere else.
There might be, you know, occasions where you can use other characters, but I think it's going to be.
So just to be clear, what we're talking about over here is we have the new GL Ahsoka coming out, and then we have Sabine is going to be on the team, Hu Yang is going to be on the team, new General Syndulla is going to be on the team, and then Conquest Ezra is going to be on the team. So they gave us the GL and her entire team.
Yeah,
Chopper and Ahsoka Fulcrum as well are both getting Spectre.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're getting the tag.
I'm saying, do we think that Chopper or Ahsoka Fulcrum might have a place on the team, or Fulcrum is staying with Malik? Fulcrum is staying with Seer.
I think it's more filler in case you don't have Ezra Exile.
100%.
Ahsoka.
Yeah,
it's just they even say that here. It's just for the feeling of full Spectre squad without Ahsoka or Exile Ezra.
Yeah. The only situation I can see otherwise is in 3v3, where you're like, oh, I've got General Hera. She's a leader.
Well, For 3v3, Hera will be bricking off the leader over there.
Hera can take Hu Yang and Chopper and go have a good time.
Yeah.
But ATF is still gonna just float with the Uthus, and
there's just no way that you, for territory wars in particular, you're not taking ATF away from like an unaligned forces.
That's
team.
You
know?
Well,
unless you don't have the army anyway.
You definitely could. You definitely could, which would require you taking Cal with her. But the problem that I assume will come is that Ahsoka is going to have a clause in her unique leadership or all of the above, where it's going to be, if all allies are Spectre, then the following applies, which means that you can't, you won't be able to blend it over. We had that discussion earlier in your Discord where people were like, oh, it's going to be this massive Omicron team and they're going to be crazy. And it's like, yeah, except for when they start calling full Spectre squads only, then you.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Taking ATF with Cal and
under
the new GL.
Okay, gotcha.
Under the new GL.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, I absolutely agree. There's very likely going to be full Spectre sort of clauses and GL Ahsoka's lead, saying things only come into effect, or you get more bonuses for each number of Spectres.
Well,
same as
same as Kenobi,
absolutely
right?
agreed.
Kenobi needs full GR to get half the shit in his kit, so it's going to be a similar boat, but the prescribed team is fantastic.
I'm kind of hoping to get like a little more unaligned force user synergy with her versus just using Spectre.
We'll probably get a little bit, but because Sabine is unaligned force user.
Now, I mean, most of them are tied to like dark side or light side. Well, I mean, Rey and Kylo Ren were, and then you look at like Luke gets more Jedi synergy. You have Kenobi with Galactic Republic, but those are very broad factions. You have Empire and Sith. And those are also pretty broad factions as well for Palpatine and Lord Vader. So I'm kind of hoping that she gets something that's not tying her to just Spectre, and maybe.
To be fair, it's most of the GLs have technically got quite broad captures, you know, in what they can use. C really just doesn't give a fuck, I'll be honest. C doesn't care.
I'm guessing it'll be something like Lord Vader. So like Lord Vader has some main callouts and whatnot. He's still technically a Sith and has like some Sith synergy, so they gave like some extra stuff over there. But he's got the callouts to Ufus. He's got like he's mainly Empire, but is also pretty strong for the dark side Ufus. So I figure there's a good chance that they make her like mainly Spectre, but also have some callouts for the light side Ufus. Now, if they do a full Spectre tag, you know, we'll see what happens. If they don't do a full Spectre tag, you know, we'll see. You know, they may just do, you know, you get a certain number of benefits for the number of Spectre, you know, like a Malgus sort of lead. But I don't know, man. Should be interesting. Like I said, we don't actually get the kits generally until like the day before they release.
I mean, nothing for Ahsoka will show up before the episode 2 patch comes in. So there's
and that's
nothing
another 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Should be, yeah.
Oh, damn.
But no, I don't see Ahsoka working outside of her prescribed team or the prescribed tag. I feel like it's going to be a lot like Jabba, where it's like, a lot of characters retroactively got the Hutt Cartel tag, but if you don't have full team of Hutt Cartel, the team is dead in the water. It doesn't do anything.
Well, Santi immediately loses the pre-taunt, and
well, and you lose the deadly bluff with Bausch, and you know there's other things that go along with that.
And she only assists Hutt Cartel allies as well, so she loses a lot of her viability on top of it. So it's
well,
like
what I'm asking, like, do you think they'll go with? Sorry.
No, go ahead, Wolfie. Yeah.
I was just saying, do you think they'll go with more like that, or do you think they'll go with more like Malgus, where he gets the bonuses, but you're not limited as much because there's none? You know, if you put HK over there, you don't get as many bonuses, but he doesn't fuck your team over entirely.
I'm pretty confident that, well, HK does because he's not Sith. But anyways,
I mean, you don't get as many bonuses though, because like, there's
there are clauses in Darth Malgus's kit that require full Sith.
I just more mean like, is it going to be like a full thing, or do you think that it'll go with more bonuses for the number?
Oh, it'll be a full thing. I think. I don't think they want to bleed it. Yeah, I don't think they want to bleed it at all. They want to start dividing hard lines between the Seer Ufu team and this team because they don't want to bleed it over. There is so much power within the GL Ahsoka team as it sits without even her kit present that I can't imagine they want any kind of plug and play viability with that team. It's just going to be, this is the team you use. It dominates everything. Enjoy.
Now, if they do Ufus, it'll 100% be locked to light side. There's no way they're going to let you use Malicos on the...
or Starkiller.
Or Starkiller, yes.
Wow. That would be huge.
That's not happening.
What about Overkill?
Oh, I mean, we were talking about this. Oh, God. Sorry, I've just made you guys blank out. We were talking about this months and months ago around, you know, who's going to be in GL Ahsoka Tano's team. And we went over, is she going to be an aligned Force user team? And I was going through the roster and I was thinking, I can't see her being an Ufu lead because who the hell does she pull? You know, like, she's not going to be taking Rey and CLS and stuff like that. She could maybe take Cal and Fulcrum, but, you know, like, and I couldn't see her using stuff like Malicos because it just feels completely off-brand. Not that Maul in a Lord Vader team is on-brand, but you know what I mean? It just feels kind of weird, right?
So, new Lord Vader lift or win? Asking for a friend.
They just keep on throwing Darkside Ufus, hoping for Lord Vader to work.
Right. I was sort of leaning towards she's going to be an Ufu leader just because I was really hoping like for that they would take some other characters in different directions. You know, like Hu Yang.
Yep.
I think that Hu Yang, and I'm really, really disappointed that like you're saying, oh yeah, Hu Yang with the fucking Spectre thing. But that's really a good point. He wasn't a freaking Spectre. That has absolutely no relevance whatsoever. Yeah. You know what does have relevance? Droids and Galactic Republic and frickin' Old Republic, and you can just have him work with Jedi because he trained the Jedi and how to use lightsabers and stuff, and give him synergy over there to be like some crazy Jedi, you know, support droid, or like also works with, like he could be such a fantastically fun plug and play character. And I feel
Disney
like they just
retroactively
locking him over there.
Watch Disney retroactively release a comic that brings Hugh Yang into Ahsoka Fulcrum's like time with the Spectre Squad, and she's like a
Oh my
companion. They're like
God.
retroactively now it's a thing. It's just like, oh my god.
Pull a George Lucas, and you'll
Yeah.
just see him, like thrown into random scenes in Star Wars Rebels, and then they're gonna gaslight you, be like, "What are you talking about? He's been there the whole time."
He was there the whole time.
There is no Warren Bossing say what?
Yeah, exactly.
The lore is flexible.
The ghost of Anakin on Endor was always Hayden Christensen. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah. No,
The whole time.
the dude on Endor
What do you
before
mean?
the character
Greedo
was a character
always shot first. He
with
always said
with the
McClunky.
white beard. He was always Captain Rex. That was always Rex on Endor with the,
See,
the guy
that
with the
one-
white
that-
beard.
I'm okay with because he was already there, and
Well,
later
they
on-
didn't retcon that.
They did.
Yeah,
That's not a retcon or anything. That's like
I
the
mean,
character. Like
the
that's
char-
like
The
a- that's-
character didn't even exist
No,
when
no,
that was shot.
No, George Lucas was famous for having like all these named characters, and that character actually has a name.
Oh, does it?
Like-
oh, what?
Yeah,
it's not
like,
Rex.
I don't remember what the name is, but that character actually has a name. Like it's not just like the number of characters
Yeah,
that are over
but
there,
it's
are like
not
random side characters that George
Nick
Lucas
Stamp.
actually fucking named.
Please.
It's a little bit insane. But yeah, that's not Captain Rex.
But you ask George Lucas now, he's like, yeah, that was Rex. That was Rex the whole time.
I mean, listen, Lucas wanted desperately for Ahsoka to be dead at the end of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. So,
Oh, did he?
oh yeah,
Ah, yes.
Dave Filoni fought long and hard to keep her.
Yeah, but
I mean,
Disney,
that doesn't surprise
Disney will be
Marvel,
like, yes, but which Clone Wars? We're going to
I mean,
do a
that's his
new
baby.
one. And Dave Filoni wants to
Ahsoka's
try
his
and
baby,
highlight.
man.
Yeah, are you trying to say that Dave Filoni is trying to keep content that he's had a large hand in relevant and up to date and take the spotlight? No fucking way. Absolutely.
Well, honestly, if during the Disney buyout, that's when Filoni got the latitude to kind of bring her back, because they exiled her. He didn't want her to die, so they compromised on exiling her from the order.
Yeah.
But I think with the final season, their plan was still he was still wanted her to be gone.
Right, okay.
But they didn't come back and finish the series until they wrote Rebels, and then in Rebels they brought her back. So it was like, okay, well now we can't.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Fair enough. His name is Nick Sant, apparently, according to Everett
Yes.
Morel. Nick Sant. That's like
The,
Saint Nick, isn't it?
At the end of season 2 in Rebels,
God damn it! It's totally Saint Nick. Go on.
At the end of season 2 in Rebels, where she like stays behind with Vader on the temple, I was like, oh man, did they just kill Ahsoka? Like,
yeah, I was really hopeful that they were going to actually.
and then Ezra pulls like that Deus Ex thing where he's like in that magical tunnel and pulls her through a mirror. Or
The world
something.
between
And-
worlds. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I was like, oh, they brought her back.
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong, I like Ahsoka, but I thought that was a pretty fitting end to her, with her like dying, like refusing to leave Vader and be like, you know what, I'm gonna die here with
Yes.
you.
That was
I
a
thought
really
that was
badass
very
end.
fitting end.
I thought it would have been fantastic if they actually stuck to their guns and, you know, let her actually sacrifice herself, trying to, you know, let everybody else be able to escape and, you know, face down Vader and whatnot. I think that would have been just a truly amazing fucking noble sacrifice and way for Ahsoka to go out. But hey,
They had to
Or-
invent time travel
or-
instead.
And hear
how
me
big.
out. Make the world between worlds thing a larger part of the back half of Rebels, because they don't really come back to it except for like a brief moment, and then it's like, we
do you
don't
mean?
really care about it anymore.
there's a
The world
couple
between
instances.
worlds, yeah,
the
but
War
it's
Between
not.
Worlds.
It's not a major part of how everything plays out towards the end.
What are
The
you
rest of it's
talking
just
about?
the escalation with Thrawn.
Dude, the end of Rebels is literally Palpatine trying to get Ezra to go and reopen the world
Yeah.
between worlds. He like takes off pieces
Yeah.
of the wall and whatnot so he can go and control that entire thing. Like that's the entire like
Yeah,
plot
yeah.
point that
I remember.
Palpatine's trying to get.
But
That's his whole motivation.
it's his motivation, yeah, but it doesn't really do anything like narratively impactful to the rest of what happens there. It's just like, this thing opened up and then we close it down and then we're back to where we started.
Well, it brought Ezra onto the ship, and it got him ready with the Purgle to go and go and take him off to hyperspace and whatnot. So I mean, it did serve
frickin'
some
space
some
whales,
purposes
bro.
over there. It gave Ezra the plot armor he needed to get onto the ship. So, I mean, to get more plot armor, to get the plot armor.
I mean,
Wasn't he?
That's pretty thick plot armor right there.
Wasn't he already on the ship though? Because that's where he got captured and taken to, and then they tried to do the.
So they had captured over like they had the big dome, whatever thing, like inside the city. They captured the dome, and then Thrawn's ship was right over the other dome. So he agreed to go and sacrifice himself and go to Thrawn's ship because Palpatine wanted him there to try and open up the world between worlds. So he went and gave himself up to Thrawn to try and get that over there. And that was his whole backup plan with the Purgle and whatnot. And we're just gonna Deus Ex Purgle. Sorry, Purgle Ex Machina.
So the plot can happen, Wolfie.
So the plot can happen.
I need to get all the way off my back about that.
Okay, let me just get off of that thing. Yeah.
All right then. Space whales are tight.
Oh man.
Yeah. Is that actually
like how that sounded?
That was rather suggestive. Is that the step above Kraken? So is it like minnow, dolphin, whale, Kraken, Purgle? Is that
so.
Is that the new scale?
I think
whaling?
I think on the size of the creature though, Krakens are still larger.
You think a Kraken's bigger than a space whale?
I mean,
I think we need some empirical evidence here, guys.
Yeah,
everybody go find out the size of a Purgle and find out the size of a Kraken. Both very real creatures in the world, in the universe.
All right, Big Deal says, what was Emperor Palpatine's motivation? Neglect domination, sure, but I think it was really some unresolved issues with his mother. I think
he had
lack thereof.
a Freudian complex.
According to Wikipedia, the average length of a Purgle is 30 meters.
Is a Kraken bigger or smaller than 30 meters?
I would say
that's
bigger.
That seems
It would
small.
depend on. Are we talking about the Kraken in Transylvania, or are we talking about the Kraken in Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, is the Pirates of the Caribbean sort of Kraken?
Well, we just don't know. And that could just be your average Purgle. Was that not like an adolescent Purgle, maybe, McMull, or was that like fully grown?
It just says average size of a Purgle.
I feel like the Purgle that transported Ahsoka's ship was way bigger than 30 meters. To be able to swallow an entire ship whole.
Star Wars has never got wrong scale. Okay, it's always been right.
So a scene where a Purgle eats an entire starship, it's like not to scale in the bottom there. Some of these things are to scale, some aren't. Yep, let's go for it. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Parsecs. That's all I gotta say.
Yep.
I mean, who wants to talk the biggest space monster? We gotta go for the Summa Verminoth.
From the what?
The Summa Verminoth. You remember from Solo, that space monster that
it had a name?
It's got a name.
Of course, it had a name.
The Sumo Venomoth. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me link it to you guys.
Oh, actually, Nitro asks a good question. African or European Purgle?
Oh my God.
Maybe it was carried in the mouth of an African Purgle.
The Southern Water Tribe.
I don't know that. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
How much lore can get shoved into one?
This is definitely vital discussion that every Galaxy of Heroes fan really needs to know.
I was gonna say on this Galaxy of Heroes podcast.
Yeah.
And now, Nicole, you understand. We are ostensibly talking about SWGoH. This is kind of somewhat related a little bit to SWGoH.
Well, this is all related to Ezra has Purgle migration in his kit. That's an important part of it. The Ahsoka show.
Back to Ahsoka and General.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Right? See? You get it.
The way we talk about Galaxy of Heroes on this podcast is as tenuous as the fake faction links that CG sometimes makes, like having Hu Yang have the Spectre tag. We're on brand. We're on brand.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
It's for balance
Perfectly
reasons.
On brand.
It's for the balance of the discussion.
For balance reasons. Why are you so off topic? For balance reasons.
We must educate everybody on all fringe details so that our takes make more sense.
Oh shit! You guys are educated. I was just spouting shit.
Wait, we're trying to make sense?
Oh,
Wait,
God.
hold on.
Hold up.
Okay.
No, we're on the wrong show for
We're
that.
not on the same page here.
Speaking of not on the same page, I need to top up back in a second. You guys will have to carry this show without me. Nothing new there.
Oh, God. What?
Yeah, see, this is the one thing I will bring this speculation back to, tying into the Purgle, though, is I am curious to see if how Ahsoka does the exiled buff, like, team-wide, or if she just provides another exiled mechanic, because the way so many of the characters their kits are written, it's like whenever they gain or lose exiled, they get mastery bonuses or whatever else.
Right.
It's like the only person who gains exiled at the beginning of a battle right now is Ezra, and he's the only one that can lose it right now. So, like, this seems like a lot of kit to write to just boost Ezra. Why not just say that in the game? So it's like, I feel like at some point they're gonna do a mass, like, exiled thing across the entire enemy team, which, if that's the case, if she does have an AoE exiled, this team is going to be
that,
like,
not just
like
that, fracture too, because General Syndulla's talks about dispel all fractures on the enemy.
Well, so in fairness, that is the same way they worded Leia's call to action ability. It dispels everybody because they didn't want it to double apply.
Just to do a reset thing. Yeah, exactly.
So
is that what it is? They want to have people fracture?
Yeah, well, because her fracture is unique from how Thrawn's works. It is until everybody has taken a turn. And so if you can reset the cooldowns via another team,
another turn.
Yeah, you can't get her to loop the entire team into the floor where they never take another turn. So it's just literally there to prevent a loop. Yeah.
It's how, like you said, how the fracture is removed is different, so you just don't get screwy with that. They like to remove, like, when they do the translation sort of effects. Like, they'll only have, like, only one person with translation effects will actually take effect, so they don't, like, sort of override each other and start fucking with the mechanics and everything. So they just, like, shut down the other translation source just so that 3PO and was it Bad Batch Tech?
Yeah, Bad Batch
on the same team. Yeah. So, like, that's definitely stuff that they've done before. So I can understand them trying to simplify the mechanics over there with remove all of this and then give everyone all of this. That's fine for sure. But I wonder if it's going to be a mass exile or if she's going to like work with Ezra's sort of abilities and just buff them up. Just say double exile people, or she's going to take somebody with her when she gets exiled. That sort of thing.
I wonder if she I wonder if she, like, steals exile. You know how Ezra passes it to the next person he hits? What if when you defeat the enemy that had exile, it then applies to a random Spectre ally? Okay. And then it'll just, like, bounce back and forth all battle. Okay. And every time you're getting it, it's obviously going in GAC, it'll trigger Ezra's Omicron, which means they're all going to be getting mastery buffs.
I got it.
Yeah. See,
what did Ahsoka do in the show? She exiled herself to bring Ezra back from exile. So and she's gonna flip. She's gonna flip it. It's gonna be like an instant fucking flip right there. She's gonna unexile and exile somebody else. Is
it going to be just like JMK, where he does that ability to reset
the cooldown reset?
But
yes.
She's just going to steal it off Ezra.
She's going to be like, flip
you don't
the
get
exile.
It. I get the exile. Then she gets a mastery boost.
Right?
Why not? It makes sense.
Just start passing it around like that.
See, I feel like
just start stealing everyone's exile, pass it to somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a thing.
I feel like it's going to be her way of like a savior mechanic of, like, if they would die, they get exiled instead.
Oh, that would be kind of cool.
And then
that could be interesting, actually. Yeah.
Well, because everyone's got to be able to get it in my head. Everyone has to be able to get it, but this team needs a way to, like, give some sort of Achilles heel, because right now, with the outflowing firepower from this team, I don't see a GL that stands a freaking chance until we get Slacker with the new Rey, and then there might be a way to pick apart this team. But Jesus Christ, like, just the amount of offense on this team is astronomically intense. It's like everyone's got like 200% offense right now.
And they're all just boosting everybody else. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So this is like, man alive, I need to see like her kit because I need to understand. Like she has to have some sort of pushing a weakness onto her own team until she like ults or whatever, because otherwise she's just so freaking powerful. Like this team doesn't really even need her. If she's a generic lead that adds 30 speed and then flat health and protection stats, this team will rickroll everything it touches, regardless of what the kit brings to the table.
She's going to be crazy next level good.
Oh yeah.
She doesn't need a leadership, but she's going to be insane. Sorry, McNall. Go ahead, dude.
I would hope she's crazy considering how many Relic 9s she needs.
Yeah.
Well, we all say that, but then we look at Lord Vader and realize how depressing that was.
Yeah, but Lord Vader didn't even really have a team. His
Still
team
doesn't.
was like Royal Guard.
Yes. Pretty much, yeah. They reworked Royal Guard to go with him, and they gave him Maul for some fucking reason.
Honest to God, I am hoping
they care
that
about lore so much.
Yeah, I really hope CG doubles back on the remaining GLs, and every GL gets a triple GAC Omicron lifter to go with them.
Like,
why?
I really hope
Lord Vader could
really
use one.
Lord Vader needs one. Yeah. JMK could really use one because every GL has come out to dunk on JMK. Every triple
poor JMK.
Every JMK always gets like
but look at
Datacron support.
But every triple Omni GAC character like team that's come out dunks on him pretty well too. So it's like there's just a lot of things that were designed to go against him specifically.
Because he's a really strong team. I mean, they got a lot of good mechanics over there. So I mean,
but
he always has Datacron support too. I mean, think about like the Plocron and everything. So
I know. But
he's always useful in some way.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, I'm not arguing that point, but I think that their plan is to double back on all the GLs and add triple Omni GAC characters to go with them, and get them out of Conquest or Legendary units.
And while they're at it, add triple Omicron TW character. I mean, that's the other side of GL Ahsoka.
Well,
she's got two TW Omnis out the bat, like.
Dude,
wow.
and they're so nutty.
Sabine's is fucking nuts. General Hera.
General Hera. And Hera's seems like it's, whatever, until you're like 100% counter chance. Yeah. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much going on. It's not even funny. But I mean, I don't know. For me, it feels like that's the way they're going to have to go with the old GLs.
Let's not forget though, Hera's TW Omicron doesn't just give 100% counter chance and potency and 100% potency. So you're going to be landing that off balance all the time. It also gives it to Zeb as well. So don't worry about it. Zeb gets it too.
But hold on, don't use him on the team. He's not.
But no,
he's on this team.
He's not supposed to be there, guys. Don't use him. Okay? But if you happen to accidentally put Zeb in the team, he's going to have
consequences. But don't use him.
Yeah.
Whenever Spectre allies or Zeb, again, recovers health, other Spectre's allies and Zeb recover half of that amount at the end of the turn. Whenever Spectre allies or Zeb attacks out of turn, they remove 15% turn meter from the target enemy, excluding Galactic Legends and anything in JMKs, and the first time a Spectre ally or Zeb loses all of their protection, they recover 50% protection. Whenever a Spectre ally or Zeb is stunned, they dispel them and inflict bluff immunity and heal immunity for one turn on all enemies. Oh my god.
It's such a powerful.
It's very powerful.
Yeah, Scribe just takes a shot every time Zeb is mentioned in this.
I mean, that should be a new drinking game. Look, how quickly can we get? Yeah, do one shot for every time Zeb is mentioned in General Hera's kit.
Shots right there.
That would be
Zeb is mentioned more in Hera's kit than Chopper is.
All right, so I did the find function. Zeb is mentioned 18 times.
18
dear
times?
God.
Wait, in the kit or in the post?
Sorry, in the post in general, in terms of the kit, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times Zeb is mentioned.
Wow.
So we're definitely screwed. Like if you do shot along with Zeb in that kit, you're going to have a rough morning.
Yeah.
Or also known as a standard Friday night on my streams. That's how many shots.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nutty for a character that's not going to be on the team. I still don't understand it, man. It's to give you options that you're not gonna do. It's a shame because Zeb doesn't even really get used in Phoenix either.
See,
Poor
this is
Zeb.
what I like though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
This is what I like about
Yeah,
this.
yeah, you're pulling Chopper from Phoenix, and
I think that was the point of having the Zeb clause, because it's like it gives you the flexibility to basically, if you have Ezra, you could just throw Zeb in as the 5th, because Ahsoka or ATF would likely go with Seer in TW, and Chopper is still going to likely go with the OG Phoenix team in TW. So it's like it gives you one more option just in case you happen to have those other 2 teams built out. You can just pick up Zeb and throw it in as the 5th.
I mean, my Zeb is Relic 9, so
yeah.
But
I mean,
so's my
conspiracy theory in me thinks that like there's something in Zeb's kit that would just break Galactic Legend Ahsoka somehow, but I don't see what it could be.
The one expectation is that she's going to be a tank, and that like maybe something in the tank clause sort of thing might interact with that if there's something weird over there.
To be fair,
Zeb is a tank,
Zeb's first special, if you've got the Zeta on that thing can really hit hard. Like, that thing can actually do some serious damage. But he's still a very old character at this point. I can't imagine what's in his kit that makes him particularly broken.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, no. Like, the basic with the daze and the stun is like,
no
yeah, you know.
No idea. It's for a tank that can't taunt. It's very weird that they cared so much to write him out.
Yeah, but now, it's okay because it's because Chopper is a support that can taunt. So
yeah, exactly.
They balance each other out.
Welcome to OG Phoenix.
Yeah.
The one thing I do find interesting though is their new ultimate buff, Perfect Defense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's that one do again? I can't remember.
If you get defense up and tenacity up, you dispel them both, you gain perfect defense. Perfect defense is 200% defense.
Oh,
plus
defense up is what, 100%?
Yeah.
Yes. Or 50%.
So is it 50% or 100%? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Neither can I.
Some of the percentages and whatnot
does
are just
perfect
so
defense
arbitrary.
stack with defense up as well?
No, you become immune.
Oh, okay.
You become immune to getting defense up or tenacity up. But the kicker on it is that you don't get the 1000% tenacity boost. You just you resist all detrimental effects that can be resisted.
Check how that's actually coded though, because I think that's what the wording is for tenacity up too. I mean, so once it comes into the game, we'll have to see what it actually does. But I'd be willing to bet it's coded the same way as tenacity up.
Well,
it's tenacity down with counter it. Pretty much is what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
pretty sure
I think it's better than that. I think if you've got tenacity down and you've got that perfect defense, no debuff will land. I think it was like crit hit immunity. So having crit hit immunity and having vulnerable, you can't be crit.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it's coded when it drops. But I'm sort of in the camp that it's going to be like tenacity up, where it's be counteracted by that. But we'll have to see when it comes out over there. The other nice thing is that it can't be copied.
That is kind of nice.
So it can't be stolen.
GMY can't hop it.
Defense up is plus 50%.
50%. Oh, that's a big jump then.
Yeah. So.
Oh, geez, I thought it was 100.
This is where this is where I disagree. This is why I disagree with you, Wolfie, because there is no reason.
What now? No.
There is no reason
how dare you
to add this. You resist detrimental effects. So it's like, for me, it's basically goes, even if you have tenacity down, unless the debuff is unresistible, you will just ignore them all. Like, so it's
what's the wording for tenacity up?
Tenacity up gives you 9,999.
Oh no, I know what it actually does. I'm saying what's like the wording for it?
I think it says you will resist if able.
Right. That sounds like similar wording.
It's similar, but I think the difference is tenacity down is the exact same as tenacity up, but a negative number, right? So it's those two would counteract each other, whereas I feel perfect defense will literally just not let you land a debuff. I think, unless it's irresistible.
What I'm saying is, if perfect defense has similar phrasing as tenacity up, then to me, it's probably going to have similar mechanics as tenacity up. We'll have to see once the coding is actually in, how it actually, works, and be able to look it up and see for sure. Until then, we're just sort of arguing, and just we can't actually see for sure.
We won't see it
but,
until Hera gets added up tomorrow.
That's sort of my thinking. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Tuesday, I don't know. But yeah, that's
no,
my reasoning.
She'll be added.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, the update's tomorrow. Should the event goes live Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's my reasoning. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's a solid,
on
solid enough
but,
reasoning. Yeah.
We'll have to see when it actually drops, and until then,
So Tenacity Up's description just says resist negative status effects.
Yeah, so
it could be.
It seems kind of arbitrary.
Yeah, very similar. Yeah, very similar.
So,
but I would have to imagine
we'll see.
Stronger than Tenacity Up, the way, and it's called perfect defense.
Yeah,
because it also gives you the better defense. It gives you from 50% to 200%.
Yeah, plus it's also an interesting mechanic. I don't think we've ever had a mechanic that just completely counteracts Tenacity Down. Oh, hang on. Technically, Corrupted Battle Meditation, right? Doesn't that stop you from landing debuffs if you've got it?
That prevents,
it prevents you from applying debuffs.
Yeah.
If you have CBM, you can't apply debuffs.
That's
even
kind
fracture,
of similar.
Like
that's kind of nutty.
Even stuff that can't be resisted, like Fracture. Like I remember the first time sitting there, like, why the fuck did Thrawn not? He did, but he can't be. It took me so fucking long to realize that shit.
The part that always got me about Corrupted Battle Meditation is I always forget that it lowers counter chance by like 30%.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, hey, I've got Retribution. Why didn't I counterattack? You're like, oh, right, yeah. 30% less chance.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
We've all been there. Yeah. It sucks.
Interesting. So yeah. So I think it's going to be it's going to be fun.
So that's what's her nuts? That's Basila's unique that shuts out the debuff.
Yeah,
it's not correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not the debuff itself, but it's her unique.
It's her unique that does it.
Yeah.
Oh, what if the enemy has got Corrupted Battle Meditation while she's on the field?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just trying to find.
Yeah.
Can anybody else apply CBM?
Not apply detrimental effects.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. She's the only person that does Corrupted Battle Meditation.
That's what I
so
thought,
far.
But I wasn't sure.
So far, because we now have another source of battle meditation, right?
Yeah,
legendary battle meditation.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon.
Yep, Master Qui-Gon Jinulus. But I don't think, to my knowledge, nobody else has got Corrupted Battle Meditation. Maybe we'll get a what if Dark Side Qui-Gon. Yeah, and he can do Corrupted Battle Meditation.
Oh my god, that could be pretty silly.
No, I mean, Karth, it's still Corrupted Battle Meditation is the thing that does the minus 30% counter chance. It's on her unique, but it's the description of it.
It's the debuffs, isn't it?
Yeah. No, minus 30% critical chance and minus 30% counter chance, doubled against Jedi and
allies are immune to all debuffs during any ability used by an enemy with Corrupted Battle Meditation. It's on her Force Bond unique, which requires.
Yeah, I was talking about the counter chance.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, we were talking across terms.
You're talking about different parts of it,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's
The prevention of debuffs is in her unique. It's not on the
ability.
But
the counter
the counter chance is on Corrupted Battle Meditation.
Part of the, Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it's that's more harebrained schemes that we are coming up with. So yeah.
There we go.
How do you feel about Syndulla's lead?
I can't remember it.
It's pretty nutty for a marquee.
For a temporary lead.
It feels like a legendary in terms of that lead.
Yeah, the 1 turn 150 speed to Spectre allies and Zeb is nutty.
And then converting their defense into offense for their turn.
Yeah, get perfect defense and convert that to offense. They're going to gain. It's just.
It feels like this team is gonna wreck even without Galactic Legend Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
This power curve on these current teams are just starting to escalate pretty high. Like I believe all of next year is going to be the same thing. I think Balin's an unfortunate side effect of being caught in the middle unless CG releases more mercenaries for him to absorb. I feel that's where we're headed.
The new Bad Batch team is supposed to be all mercenaries.
They did not say that.
Did they not?
I thought they did.
No.
It says contains some mercenaries, right?
Yeah.
That's
The Marquis will form a new Bad Batch squad, and a couple of these new Marquis from this new era will have the mercenary tag. But it's by no means a guarantee. Now CG is infamous for wording things weird. It could easily be that the Bad Batch team is still a mercenary squad, because why not? They can easily just drop, Galactic Republic and throw on mercenary and have a new squad.
Because they should be mercenaries. If you watch the Bad
They
Batch
should
show,
be,
all they
yes.
do is mercenary stuff. That's literally the entire show. They are mercenaries.
Except for, Crosshair kind of isn't, but the rest definitely.
By the end, Crosshair's
in the most recent episode, he's with them, but not episode, season, but was it season 3?
Season
3, that's the last season of that show.
So all of the seasons.
Yeah.
So many seasons.
Yeah, so by season 3 he was back with them, and he was more of a mercenary, but although, as has been brought up, if we get this a new Bad Batch squad and don't get Crosshair, we're gonna
There's just no point. There's just no point playing the game anymore. I'm sorry.
Mad that I have to get like a new team to get Crosshair. Like I just wanted Crosshair as a lifter for Bad Batch. That's all I wanted. But now I have to get this whole goddamn new team.
And his model is already in the game. He's there. He's in Rogue.
Yeah.
So
but they're gonna take off his armor markings, and he'll be generic.
I do buy into the conspiracy that Omega was what Crosshair's kit was supposed to be. And then
thank you, Nate, for the $2, buddy. Appreciate you, dude. Enjoy your Guinness.
I think that they developed a kit and they weren't told who it would be until the end.
Yeah, that's happened before. I know that, just being part of the Game Changers in the past. Like they'll go make kits and then they'll find out later on. Oh, well, this happened.
We're just going to apply this kit to this character.
So when Last Jedi came out, CG was given the option to either do Holdo and Rose or Hux and someone else, and they chose Holdo and Rose. And then they watched the movie and they're like, "Man, we fucked that one up big time."
We all know how well that went down. I think there are still people to this day that are like, "I am not gearing Rose Tico out of principle."
I mean, she at least eventually came back to being a viable part of the Resistance.
Yeah, you used it with the
in game. We're talking about out of principle. Were you not paying attention, Karth?
Listen, I play this game to win, not to be standing on my principles.
You say that, yet you still continue to let me play your account on a Friday night sometimes, although I haven't managed to actually stay sober.
You haven't played it
in about a month.
Yeah, it's been a minute
since you in the night.
The way it reads, McMull, is this era will contain 5 new marquee characters to create a new Bad Batch squad. This squad will be based on the events of season 3 of Disney Plus series, and includes a couple of characters that will make use of the new mercenary tag.
So who you're going to be in there? I know Asajj, Crosshair.
If they don't bring in Asajj as just one of the characters, I think that's a huge whiff.
They done goofed.
Because there was no other reason to bring her back if they weren't going to do anything with her, because they did a really good job with reintroducing her.
Bring her back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the author tried really hard. The author tried really hard to be like, well, it doesn't really retcon it. We're just going to kind of ignore how she comes back to alive by going Night Sister magic.
She was alive the whole time. She definitely did not die. I don't know what you guys are talking.
Yeah.
Do you remember that time when Anakin was? No, okay, hang on.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, is that instead
of retconning, they're just gaslighting. Great.
Well, but they kind of did that already, because Quinlan's character shows up in the Kenobi show too. So,
but
he's mentioned, but yeah.
But have you heard of the World Between Worlds?
Oh yeah,
ultimate retcon machine right there.
What's wrong with Quinlan?
Nothing. It just doesn't he end up dying in the Asajj book?
No.
Hashtag spoilers.
He no, he doesn't die.
I don't know.
Asajj does, but he doesn't die.
I don't remember.
No, he comes back to the Order.
Isn't this after the events of Clone Wars with the Asajj book?
No, the Asajj book was they were trying to assassinate Dooku.
Yeah,
it was during the Clone Wars,
if I remember correctly.
They failed assassinating Dooku, and he came back. He came back to the Order and everything.
Because I thought the gist was that Quinlan went to the dark side during his time with Asajj.
Oh, he did. He definitely went to the dark side during his time with Asajj. That was like the whole fucking thing, like his struggle with that and everything.
All right, yeah.
He went full fucking dark side.
My time frame on that,
because he was given a dark side. He was given a dark side assignment, which was to assassinate Dooku. He failed, obviously, and then spoiler alert: Anakin chops his fucking head off.
So
yeah, I think it was Asajj's death that basically motivated him to go back to the light side, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was like the whole the breaking point for
I don't think the Sith are too bright, guys. Why would you have him like go kill other Sith people? Yeah, fuck our allies. It's
no. He was given this assignment by the Jedi to go and work with. At this point, so Ventress had been shunned by Dooku, had been kicked out by everything. She was working as a bounty hunter and whatnot. So the Jedi hashed a scheme to go have Quinlan work with Ventress to go and assassinate Dooku.
Yeah, that's
and then in the show, Asajj just did it on her own and failed.
Oh,
yeah.
Granted, she was supposed to fail intentionally, at least to Towson's plan.
Poor Asajj.
Well, this is after all that. This is after she after all the Night Sisters died and she became a bounty hunter. This was
I know.
After all that, so they still haven't fully explained what actually happened over there and how Ventress is now alive.
Hey, listen. If Maul can survive, so can Asajj by Night Sister magic.
They literally confirmed that she died and just like gave her a nice burial.
Whoa! Did it happen on screen? Did it happen on screen? No. All right, doesn't count.
What happened?
That is Disney's rule.
What happened to Palpatine at the end of Return of the Jedi?
Survived.
Well, yeah.
we saw him falling with style,
and then there was a really good light show.
Yeah,
but
that was him. That was Palpatine, who had at that exact moment perfected the power of the Purgle, and he hyperspaced to Exegol. That's where the bright light came from. It had nothing to do with it falling into an engine reactor.
Oh, there we go.
It was the Purgle.
Yeah.
If you look very briefly in the moment of time when the Millennium Falcon is flying out of the reactor core, you'll see a bright white light just shoot past it off the starboard side.
Yeah.
That is Palpatine fleeing.
Yeah.
That is Palpatine fleeing to Exegol.
George Lucas version that I haven't seen.
That's the 2024.
This is the Disney we're trying to make our retcons make sense masterpiece version of the original trilogy. So that's what you're missing out on right now. Is just the fact of they're still working out the kinks.
When the opening scroll for episode 9 opens up and it's like there's a message from Palpatine going across the galaxy. I'm like, wait, what?
Announced
somehow Palpatine returned.
What? I was like, so he was coming back somehow. We're just going full bore with it. Okay.
It was announced through Fortnite though. Like, what is that about?
I heard about that. I never actually heard the recording or anything, like whatever the message was.
Well, neither did I. I just remember everybody saying.
Yeah.
I mean, that's usually that's the sort of go-to means of communication these days for all Star Wars content.
Yeah,
like, let's announce it in Fortnite. Like that's where we get our kit reveals from, isn't it?
Way too accurate.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where they go to make all the puzzles, you know.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't the original Palpatine. I see it was Palpatine's evil twin that got thrown off the bridge.
You know, they would have done a better job explaining it if they just took the story right out of SWTOR and was like, listen, so what happened is Palpatine learned how to possess a Force body, and then he did these cool things where he just possessed Force bodies. And it just takes time. And it's like, okay, well, we know that story already exists. He could have just learned that from Vitiate and called it a day.
You didn't like the tanks full of Snoke in the when at the beginning of the movie?
And they did nothing. They literally threw out Snoke like he was trash. Like,
poor Snoke.
Nothing about Snoke's character ever made any kind of sense.
I maintain that the entire trilogy would have been so much better if Snoke was just the villain. Like just make him into a character. There's nothing wrong with that. We don't have to bring back Skywalkers and Palpatines and this sort of shit. Well, you can make new villains, guys. It's okay.
And made Snoke like a failed clone of like the Empire trying to bring back Palpatine. I could have gotten on board with that.
Yeah, why not?
Well, at least it would have made more sense than just like, well, Palpatine went to a Sith planet and then this is how he did everything. And then like the funny part is too is like they have this fleet of Star Destroyers that literally could have held the entire galaxy hostage, but for whatever reason, it's behind this maze that you have to navigate with a Sith Datacron. It's like, yeah, but each Star Destroyer had the ability to destroy a planet. Like all it had to do was just like skirmish their way, which I mean, the New Republic at that time were so cucked anyways that they could have just flown them to every planet over orbit and been like, listen, don't do anything or we blow up your entire galaxy.
And it has
pretty much
comically bad weak spot too, where if you shoot a couple lasers with the cannon that's charging up and it blows up the whole thing.
Yeah. Right?
What is this?
Come on.
Hey, we're gonna take the epitome of glass cannon 100% literal. If you shoot the cannon, it goes boom.
and they already did that too in the Clone Wars, like the whole Malevolence thing, because the Malevolence had the like the big freaking ion cannon which went and disabled ships, and they literally just like went and shot the cannon a bunch, like threw some fucking torpedoes at it while it was charging
up. In fairness,
and
though,
like messed up one electrical circuit and the thing overloaded.
In fairness, though,
we've already seen this before, guys. Come on.
It didn't have any events, did it?
But in fairness, though, when they did do that, at least we had a moment with like the generals discussing what would happen if they did this tactic.
Oh yeah,
and like we had an identified weak spot, and we had an idea from the whole previous like couple of episodes of
exactly
why this took place. We at least had
specific thing, and 100%.
We had at least some sort of logical explanation of how attacking the superstructure would weaken it enough to when it fired, it would self-implode.
Yeah.
Versus like everything else, Star Wars is just like, but you know, if we just shoot the thing that's shooting us, it'll die faster.
Yeah, perfect.
Figured out the cannon was the weak spot, if I remember correctly. They're like, just shoot the cannon, it's charging up, maybe we'll stop it, and the whole thing blows up. And they're like, oh shit, that's all we have to do is just shoot the cannons on all these ships.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, these things suck.
To be fair, it is kind of like like a critical hit zone in a computer game. It's the big shiny thing. Shoot that.
Yes,
that makes sense.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yes.
You ever play a game when the enemy turns around, there's a giant shiny object on the back that highlights a little bit, and then you hit it and does massive damage?
Exactly.
On the Malevolence, that thing is pretty damn fucking big. You don't even have to have good aim to hit that.
Well, on the Malevolence, though, they have to hit the superstructure, which is behind the gun, which means they have to get
you got to get around
the ship. Yeah. And even then, when it does fire, they end up killing like half the team anyways.
Hey, we got this.
It was very well defended.
Destroyer over here. Let's fly a bunch of like slow-moving bombers with no armor over there, and like let's have them line up right next to each other in formation. And then if one blows up, they all blow up.
Reminds me of that scene in Deadpool 2 where he's on the ice rink with the ice flattener, and he's like, "Stay there! I'm gonna kill you." In about 12 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just slowly rolling towards it.
Well, and like the idea, the concept of taking like a of like the the B-12 Super Fortress bomber from World War II and implementing that kind of bombing strategy into a sci-fi aspect, very interesting
in concept.
But then they took everything away that would make it an actual viable bomber in actual like sci-fi. And I'm like, yeah, it can be slower, but like you guys are talking about like literally like old like Civil War style fighting where it's just like we march to each other 100 paces away, then the first guy shoot, this next guy shoot, we just do back and forth until everyone dies. I'm like, that is the most inefficient style of warfare we've ever seen.
They could have at least given like cloaking devices or something so that it at least made sense that they could get there in time.
Or,
like anything.
They just deploy a minefield instead, and then the minefield just creates this massive like the magnetic drift towards the Star Destroyers, and then they just lure them towards the or anything that made sense than just
There's a lot of different ways they could have done this, which
we all agree that the way they did it didn't quite make sense.
I just remember watching that movie, and as the movie kept going on, I was like, am I just getting trolled for this whole movie? Like,
see, that was the thing.
Is this just a joke? Like, what is going on here?
It was like episode 7 was like, it's 100% episode 4, but with different characters, sort of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but it was like everything felt kind of like, okay, this is a Star Wars I can get behind.
It felt like an homage to New Hope.
When the
whole-
X-wings come down to rescue Finn, they're literally like an inch off the water, and it's just a really cool visual, and a lot of cool things are happening.
Mhm.
Like, it was a lot of fun, and I could get behind
It's
it. Then
absolutely
episode
ripping
8,
off episode 4, but sure.
yeah.
But
But then episode 8 was just like, oh, by the way, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like,
pretty much.
I don't care. I do what I want.
yeah.
The guy who wrote Force Awakens wrote Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He never wrote A New Hope. So he's like, fuck it. This is how I'm gonna write A New Hope, and just makes Force Awakens.
And it's not called The Force Awakens. It's called A Newer Hope. All right.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Oh my god.
Like, you basically write episode 4, and he's like, wait, you're paying me how much to just write episode 4 again? Like, how many million?
And I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna read him anything into this, but we were talking about Snoke and Andy Serkis earlier. Apparently, the first time Andy Serkis actually went to Star Wars Celebration was after Andor, not after he was Snoke. So now I'm not saying he wasn't invited or anything, but I'm just saying the first time he bothered to show up because he had a good ass fucking character was after Andor, not after being
Maybe he
Snoke.
wasn't invited
So,
there.
you know, it's possible. I don't know. I don't know, but I will say he was a fucking badass in Andor, and completely wasted his Snoke.
He was wasted, but there was potential there as Snoke. That's what I.
There was potential.
Him ragdolling Hux around was kind of cool. I was like, oh shit, okay, he's not fucking around.
Him getting cut in half, and you see like the top half of his body just kind of like slide off. I was like, yeah, that's a pretty cool scene. I like that.
It was pretty cool, but I was so disappointed. I was just like, why?
Yeah.
Come
The
on,
lead up
man.
to that, though, was the most disappointing thing to me, though, because it felt like someone was
So
reading
obvious.
to you
Oh my god.
a bad porno.
Oh,
where it's
good,
just
yeah.
like,
Yes.
And
it's
and
overly
every-
descriptive.
Everybody
and
could
way
see what was
drawn
coming
out.
as well, right?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, yeah. What,
Like, it was so obvious it was coming. I thought they were going to do something else. Like, I thought something else was going to happen. I thought that was just a twist.
I thought Snoke was going to draw a lightsaber and fight Ben instead, and then we would have
you're
a
like,
cool
there's
duo.
no way he actually falls for this. Like, are you
There's no
actually
bad
this
thing,
fucking
Snoke.
dumb? Like,
He was villain monologuing right in front. And it's like the lightsaber turns around, and you could see Kylo's, and you're like, I was watching it thinking, they're not gonna kill Snoke. They wouldn't dare kill Snoke. Who's the villain now if you kill Snoke?
Really like this? Like really like? Oh, come on.
I was like, it is definitely a really cool way to kill someone. I will be honest. I agree with you, McMull. It was really cool watching him just get lasered in half.
Oh
It's like,
yeah,
sick.
like that visual itself. Yes,
that was cool.
Well,
it's
it's
just
like
they need another film.
What was like the Underworld movie where like at the end he like slices the dude in half and just slides off right there?
Yeah, literally Underworld.
Yeah.
Bill Nye is the vampire lord.
Star Wars Underworld movie, and I was like, are you talking Solo? Like, what are we talking about?
No.
No, he's talking about Kate Beckinsale in tight black leather.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in so fucking long, but like that exact sort of thing. It's a cool visual. Like, I'll give you that without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt like a bit of a letdown for the big bad Snoke to just be like.
What's really disappointing about Underworld, Wolfie, is that it kind of peaked at Underworld. Is that like the first film was fucking great, the second film was okay, but then after that it really went to hell in a handbasket, which is a shame because I would still really like to see Kate Beckinsale in type like
It
that.
started to parody itself a little bit.
But they didn't show anything.
Yeah.
I think that was the second.
I don't remember.
Could be. I remember that
It was definitely-
she got unzipped, and and that was enough for me. I'll be honest, I was done by that point. I had to light a cigarette and have a lie down.
Yeah, it's one of those series that after a while started to like sort of parody itself, and it just that's the kind of the death spiral.
Job is absolutely right. It jumped the werewolf. It did. It jumped the werewolf.
It jumped the werewolf.
How many Underworld movies are there?
Are there like 5 or something like that?
Way too many.
Yeah. Plus, it had Michael Sheen as like the head Lycan guy, and he's a Welsh actor. All right. And I was like, Dad, like I saw it recently. I didn't see the film. I saw a clip recently of him as I can't remember what his name is as the lead Lycan guy, the lead werewolf villain. But like Michael Sheen was like ripped. He had a 6-pack. I was like, what the fuck? I expect you to have a dad bod. But no, he was in great shape. Fair play to him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie in so long. That was a good one.
It was. I do agree, actually, Everett. The second one is okay. Yeah.
To get a little bit back on track, I know you guys were talking about juicy thighs.
Wait. Back on track?
Now, hold on. I want to be talking about juicy thighs. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, cue this
So,
up.
I don't know if you guys seen the video of General Syndulla, but she's got some juicy thighs in her character model.
Oh, does she?
We were a bit worried about that. Yeah.
I know. I know.
Like the original.
About that, like if they're going to DK-ify.
Have they DK-ified, or has she just got the juicy thighs?
It looks like they did okay.
They did.
Whoa! Hold on. They go through the effort of making her turn towards the player so that you can see all that cake on the basic.
She really does have juicy thighs.
Now, I will tell you,
I think they did okay.
Outright McMull, she will always be the number 2 slot on my team, just so I can make sure I see that.
She's definitely going to be in that position every single time. Yeah. I need her right there. And we don't sound like sad, pathetic men.
We are not a bunch of perverts in here.
No.
Anyway.
It's like, oh, look at those pixels.
I mean, I'm just saying, when they give you a nice snapshot of her in Ahsoka, you gotta deliver.
But she does have them thighs, though. I mean,
but that basic, like she like full on turns, like
she's
to have
like,
her ass.
Here's my cheeks.
Yeah, full on. Like she takes a step forward and turns her back to the camera. Like that is a full on. Like, hey, players, enjoy.
Yep.
I never expected to get fan service inside of Galaxy.
It's fair. That's the last thing I figured we'd get.
I mean, they did not pay Padawan Sabine Wren homage in the Derriere region.
No, they saw that.
No, they did not.
I was like, why does she have a plywood? Why does she have a sheet of plywood for her ass? What is
she is quite literally flat as a board. And I remember episode 1 of Ahsoka, and I swear that was not the case. When I saw her riding that swoop,
it's probably she probably lost it after she survived the lightsaber stabbing.
Yeah, she lost some weight because near-death experience.
If you look at her character model, it's like you can see a flat line on her ass. Like they didn't even try.
It's armor.
We need to give CG the real feedback here, guys.
Yeah, it's the important things. We need more fan service.
Why no cake?
Yeah.
Are you DMing Meathead? Why no cake?
Yeah. Why no cake? Yeah. I'm no. I was actually I was getting Padawan Sabine Wren up, and damn, my ass has got more going on than that.
Yeah. It's like they put a piece of armor over her butt or something. And then we're like, yeah, we don't need to put any contours on that. And then Hera apparently got all the contours for her.
She did indeed. So. Yeah,
put all the polygons on Hera.
Yeah.
Look, I mean,
which is fair.
Yeah. I would say the cinematography in that show, they definitely made some choices.
They knew who their audience was.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is for sure.
Yeah, because she's always got baggy clothes in Rebels, and you're like, whatever. And then you see her in Ahsoka when she doesn't have baggy clothes, and you're like, damn, she's got it going on.
I mean,
she really filled out with that mom bod. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it. About it. Okay, so everybody who's listening to this on Spotify, leave comments about the greatest cake in the known galaxy. Who's your favorite?
Oh, yes.
Who got the cake?
We are. Bunch of children we are.
Yeah. I can only talk like this when Mr. Scribble is away, apparently, because I have no fear of her overhearing me.
And we've always wanted like those hot female models in Galaxy of Heroes. Like I remember midriff Padme was a big thing way back in the day. We got Padme on Dollar, and we're like, "Where's midriff Padme?" And you get her in one of the TV battles for Geonosis, I believe.
Yeah.
You get one battle with her midriff.
Or do you fight against her? I can't remember. She might be an enemy in Dark Side.
You fight against her.
I think she's an enemy in Dark Side, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the brief.
You get Slave Leia costume when you're doing jobs.
Well, hold up.
Excuse me, Hut Slayer Leia.
Hut Slayer Leia. There are no slaves, just like there are no panties.
Did they ever change Boba Fett's ship name?
They haven't yet, no.
No. It's the Hut Slayer 1. Would that make sense?
All right, I forgot. Sorry, I'm not allowed to say that S word right here.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, isn't it called?
Give a shit if you say the slave one. Like,
Was it
literally nobody cares?
It was Lego, wasn't it? That called it like the Fire Spark or Fire Sprinkler.
Well, they changed
spray.
it to just Boba Fett's
Starfighter.
Like what the Starfighter? What was the actual like the ship of it though?
The
Like,
fire
the ship of
spray.
actual class. Fire spray? Yeah, like that was the actual ship class of it. Because the thing was like they didn't want kids looking up Slave 1 and seeing what popped up. And it was
if
like
anything but Star Wars pops up
on
a Google search, then you need to go talk to Google about their algorithm being shitty.
And Grid, you don't have the
Google
greatest
search
cake
thing.
in Star Wars. You have the greatest hair, mate. We can't comment because we've not seen the
Just out
cake.
of curiosity, I did Google Slave 1. The first thing that pops up is Boba Fett's ship. So we're safe.
Yeah,
Well,
you're a
there we
Star
go.
Wars fan. It
Wait,
tailors it to you.
Go incognito first and then do it.
Incognito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slave 1. God help me. Nope. Boba Fett's ship. We're good to go.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
We're
I
doing
don't have the
something right.
FBI knocking on my door. We're good.
Yep. No, you're like, no, Google, I want one slave. Come on. Just
Oh God.
Oh, I'm getting cancelled.
They're
Okay.
illegal.
Whoa. Don't get. They're only illegal in certain countries.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I typed in Slave 1 over here, and yeah, I got a bunch of Boba Fett ships, but also I got a post that says on November 23rd, 1733, when 150 African slaves from blah, it just like started going on about things. You want to know who posted it?
McMullen.
Got cake.
It's not
That
me.
is meta. And they say that the universe doesn't work in weird ways.
It's literally a poster. Got cake is
I
talking
like it.
about African
like it.
slavery in
They were listening to us. Either that or one of us is actually going to invent a time machine at one point, and we're going to deliberately recreate this scenario. We're going to go back in time. We're going to create that post on Wikipedia just so Wolfie can Google search it right now. It's happening, guys. We have invented time travel at some point.
I now regret calling her Slave Leia because this has just gone off the rails.
I told
Look,
you before. It's
welcome
like
to the podcast.
we're a bunch
Yeah,
of children that have been given sweets. That's the theme that we're going for.
Dude,
We're adults who've been given alcohol.
when Scott and I made a video earlier. We talked about everything but the main topic for like an hour. It was awful.
It was it wasn't awful. It was 50 minutes of us just randomly talking about anything, to be honest.
People
So
with terrible attention spans trying to stay on topic.
it was a classic. It was a classic video. I'll release it sometime next week. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I would get someone like Gridden on to have a 50-minute long chat for Legends of the Holotables, but he's streaming again, so I don't know if that counts. Does that still count, guys?
It
Listen,
should.
let's put it this way:
Mm.
if you have any video with Gridden,
Yeah.
the challenge for you is going to be holding the center stage on sex appeal. Because Gridden,
No,
that's
look, Carth, mate. I never hold the center stage on sex appeal. I'm used to that. All right.
Oh, come on.
My glass of whiskey has more sex appeal than I do. This isn't whiskey. This is rum and ginger beer, actually. So.
I can say the same, but my glass of whiskey has a Mandalorian fucking mudhorn symbol on it. So I mean, this is a
Oh
pretty
my
sexy
fucking god! I want that.
It's a pretty fucking sexy glass over here. if I may
That's
say so
quite
myself.
literally a Mando
Right.
shot glass. Baby.
I mean,
Speaking of Mandalorian, when I came back last year, they still had the Mandalorian music going on in the game.
Oh, did they really? Was that
And
because
man,
Bo-Katan came back to it was released? Bo-Katan Mandalore came to the game.
I don't remember, but like the combat music, everything was like Mandalorian. I was like, man, this is really cool. Then it went away, and now I really want that Mandalorian music back.
I remember them doing
really-
that briefly, but I never play with music. I only play with sound effects.
I
play with
I
neither.
really want them to bring in like Cobb Vanth and a couple of characters from Mando season 1 and 2.
I would love that. Yes, please.
They should have done that so long ago. I don't understand why we're still waiting.
Yeah, I don't know either. Such a whip.
Well, there's a lot that goes into making characters and designs and they have to. So there's a lot of bureaucracy and red tape that goes into anything they bring in because they have to get
for sure.
they have to get they have to go through all these phases of getting approval and Disney signing off. And I mean, it's
I believe you.
A year between, hey, can we get this character in the game, and then that character finally releasing. Like, there's a lot that goes on.
But that doesn't change the fact that they should just give me the goddamn characters I want.
I was going to say, I hear what you're saying, McMull, but
I get it.
And hear me out.
I understand.
But give me Cobb Vanth though.
I am just going to stay on my rant that
just do the thing that I want at the place with the
I
thing
expect results
now.
I'm assuming that CG
so.
has most of 2025 already planned. Yeah. So my goal for 2026 is, can we please go to the EU and ignore the newest releases?
Yes, come visit me.
And just have a great time.
Legends, like old stuff,
like Legends books. I'm
a legend. Yeah, they can come visit me.
He's a legend of the EU.
I am a legend of the EU. CG, when you coming over to visit me? I'll make you a nice lamb roast dinner.
Disney is very particular about trying to bring legend stuff in.
Oh, I know.
Damn it.
Not even that though. Like, you could bring in stuff that had a bigger legends app. Like McMull, let's just agree on the fact here that we get about all of 10 seconds in Clone Wars of Delta Squad. So therefore, let's get them in Galaxy of Heroes.
Oh, actually,
okay?
Big Dude makes a good point. You're not in the EU.
Brother, don't even get me started on Delta Squad.
Oh God, no! We have to completely side skirt Delta Squad because otherwise, Carth and McMull will talk about Delta Squad for the next hour and 45 minutes.
So real quick, Big Dude makes a good point. You're not in the EU.
No, but I'm EU adjacent.
You are EU adjacent.
It's a lot easier for me to see CG if they're like chilling in Spain than if they're chilling in Boston. All right, that's
you're not wrong about that.
2 hours or like 12. What do you mean that's not true?
You could easily just come to the glory that is the United States of America.
Look,
this is true.
Enjoy.
We are doing that next year, hopefully, maybe, potentially.
You're moving here next year?
No, visit. I would like to do.
You're moving to the U.S.
Scribbles. No, I'm too scared of what do they call them? Americans. Yeah.
Are you not worried about
the taxes?
Hey! Look, I mean, we don't have vaccines here anymore. I mean, we don't have. We got. Like, come on! Like, what's to be worried about? You'll be fine. We'll be good.
Listen,
what are you worried about?
Listen. I could probably sort you out on housing with no problem. So
nice. You only own like half of the houses in America, right?
No. Not even close to half in my town.
Like that's Koth being modest. I don't even own half the houses in my town. like 40% tops.
No, maybe. Well, houses.
Maybe 37.
I own 2 houses, so it would be a very small amount, like 130 units in town, which is still like, I don't think that's even 10%.
No,
I don't think it's even 1%.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not even 1%. But hey,
I live in a small town, so
yeah.
So like, anytime there's a new marquee character, do you like sell off one of the units to just pay for the?
No, he just ups the rent on his buildings. He's like, there's a new marquee.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a $1 increase
a month, and we just start charging $5 every time a marquee drops.
Gentrify a new unit every month just to pay for some marquees.
Yeah, exactly. This is how
the service charge comes in early that month.
We just start going through and condoing out all of my units so I can sell them individually. And then,
yeah, that makes sense.
I sell a unit a year to pay for all my SWGoH expenses.
Yep.
I really hope I don't live in your town.
What?
There are too many marquees coming out next year. Like, it's going to be an expensive place to live wherever Carth owns property.
No. If I sold,
be gentle on my rent.
It's like cost of living about to go way up.
No. You just sell the condos off. That'll buy you that'll buy you an entire year's worth of spending.
I was going to say, I really hope, Carth, that if you sold one condo, that you could afford all of your whaling for the year. But
I mean, the average for me is somewhere around $1,000 a month. So that would not be that hard because if I sold a condo, I'd probably make better upwards of 6 figures, if not more. So
Well,
that
there
would
you
be a
go.
little weird.
There is no fucking way you spent. I know you've spent
No.
more than that on Galaxy
You
of
can cover
Heroes.
my
And you...
whaling for a month.
Yeah, I could cover a lot of people's whaling for a month. I don't want to though.
No, you don't want to. You could just.
The whole Drive Discord
All right,
server.
all right. How about don't cover my whaling, just pay off my student loans. How about that? All right, deal. Cool. Move on. Anyways, so new topic. Glad we agree.
The new topic is Scribble comes to the States next year for a visit, and we have a good time.
So we have the Great Mothers with the large units, like the three Night Sisters together.
Yes.
Delta Squad, same thing. You just have the 4 clone troopers stacked up on top of each other, large unit. There you go. Boom.
No. I need the advisor.
Just
as the
4
fifth.
clone troopers and one
Just
giant
give me-
trench coat.
Give me a generic.
Yes.
4 clone troopers in a trench coat.
Make this shit happen.
Oh
my god.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm like a little like
Could
when
they
it
all
comes
be
to
on
Clone
one of
Wars.
those in the Clone Wars where they all get carried on those weird ships? Could they just have that ship and the clones are just shooting it from the hatch?
Or are you talking like the troop transport?
Let's say yes,
Okay.
because I don't know.
Hey, it'd be cool if we got the lat at some point.
Yeah.
Cough.
I mean, I would love to see them do some more stuff to bring out the Endurance fleet as a reliable clone fleet, and then some more stuff to do with, like, the Jedi Galactic Republic fleet under Negotiator. But I feel like at the rate we're getting ship content, it's gonna be never.
It's so funny. They brought out the Marauder, and there's stuff about like Valor in there, or the ship buff that's with Mace Windu. It's Valor, right?
Yeah, it's Valor's as a GR buff in general, but yes.
Yeah, and then it's like, no, he's actually better in the Kenobi fleet. It's like, God, what ship came out that's supposed to buff Home 1? And
Ravensclaw.
Yeah, and no one uses it.
Ravensclaw.
Well, because they took freaking the MILF away from Home 1, and at that point, the whole point, they're like, oh, it's a substitute, and I'm like, for what? For what?
What is it doing?
The
What
real
is it
funny
actually
thing.
accomplishing?
The funny thing is, though, in the current meta of the punishing one, you kind of want the endurance, actually. Like, the endurance does really well against the punishing one. So it's like,
well, versus the triple attacker, yeah, and then the
Houndstooth lineup, you kind of want to go back to Nego, but
yeah,
it does surprisingly well.
Or is that reversed? I don't remember. I think that's reversed.
No, I think you're right. I think triple attacker you do use endurance. You go Marauder, Rex, and fives. Yeah.
I can confidently say that one of you is right.
I can definitely somebody here is right and somebody's wrong.
I mean, I would just like to see
that is without a doubt.
I would just like to get away from always following the newest releases of content and go somewhere else for at least a little while in the game cadence release.
Like Wales? Oh, in the game. Okay,
no, he just wants Delta Squad.
I mean, I will take more clones in general. I would like Gregor. I would like Wolf. I would like.
So
he's right here.
12th, like
I just unlocked Jedi
Am I
Master
fucking blind?
And that first mission that you use to unlock Kenobi is you fighting Grievous with the clones. And I'm like, man, because they reskin like 5s and Echoed and give them like 2/12 names. And I'm like, come on, man, like it's right here.
Waxer and get your shit together.
We have Cody, we have General Kenobi. Like you can build a 2/12 squad like right there with those.
General Kenobi's leadership literally says 212th Attack Battalion Commander. Like they could make a 212th.
Hold on. I gotta. We were talking about this earlier, and I've already forgotten. It is his lead is 212.
Yeah, they're like they could just make the tag and make the units. So
I feel like so this is the part I always find funny about CG's logic when it comes to releasing new characters, because they're always like, well, we want to make sure there's interest in the characters, so that way we can, they market well. And I'm like, how you do that, right? You make the characters good, and then the interest is there because you can shovel all the Rose Ticos out in the world, but as long as they're meta viable, people are still going to invest in those characters because
I don't know. Well, no, that is true to people in your position, Karth. People that are competitive PvP players definitely will just get anything that's good. But people that play casually and just want to farm Star Wars characters and be like, "Ooh, cool," they want to farm cool characters that they know and enjoy and like.
Yeah, but and hear me out.
In other words, fuck Zora.
But lick my sack.
No. But those players are never going to spend to unlock the character anyway. So it's like,
no, that's true.
You might as well just cater to people who are
spend. I mean, they might spend.
You got to whale. If you're going to whale on a character, though, that needs to be like the only character that the CG has released in the last year that has a massive value for whaling on an individual marquee was Great Mothers. There is no other one where it's like, if you don't have the supporting team, it works without it. Like if you had any Night Sisters to go with Great Mothers, it didn't matter. The team is obnoxious as hell without Kron.
Great Mothers is the team.
Yeah. Well, the Kron is the team. And
but even without the Kron, it's like, she's
still
pretty damn fucking good.
Doomed is such a powerful debuff.
Yeah.
Such a powerful debuff. The Kron just makes it even more obnoxious because
I still maintain that data Kron is a step too far. It's actually too good for a data Kron.
It is.
Well,
I know, 100%.
That's the reason that Balin's Kron isn't as good as it possibly could be, because they pulled back from the Great Mother's Kron.
Well,
after
in fairness, though, they fucked that pig when they didn't give him any kind of immunity to % health effects.
That's what really fucked him.
Yeah, like you have a tank that is a pre-taunting tank that has no way to subvert the incoming firepower, and everything on the team just makes him take more damage because it's like Shin cloaks everybody. It's like, okay, so he's left out in the open, and then he's got really no way of even saving himself, and so it's like there's just nothing that he can really do.
Death mark and dots and exposes, just kind of all of them sort of destroy him very quickly.
At some point.
No, I don't think so. They'll release more mercenary tags for him.
That I agree. Yeah.
They give that work. Well, it's just like, as much as I love that Hondo got the changes in his kit to work with the mercenary tag, Hondo still falls flat to the same Hondo problems as Hondo always falls into, is that he does not take advantage of the light side, dark side mechanics of Datacrons. And so he constantly kind of like weakens the... No, because he's a neutral tag, and he doesn't get the bonuses for either.
So, neutral should, in my opinion, get both.
Like, neutral. It would be great if they got both, but unfortunately, he gets neither.
Yeah,
so,
he gets neither, and so it weakens the team a little bit depending on where the Datacron power is, and then it's a mechanic that's like, it's kind of cool, but like Hondo is a victim of himself, which is like the escaping when if the enemy dies within the other thing. That was a thing I had when playing with it in Conquest this go around. Is like you go use Hondo with the mercenary team and he escapes all the time because you have so much damage to the team.
You're too good. And
exactly.
In GAC, it's an abusable mechanic as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
So like 5v5 GAC, you could go in with like, oh well, like this Balin team is really fucking hard. Let's go in with my weakest characters. He'll take a bonus turn, capture someone, they'll die instantly, and he'll escape. So next round, you're going up against full characters.
No, you have to survive it. To be fair.
Well, so like a lot of times,
but if you've got a full team, they just need to not AOE, right?
So like, I'll use
Balin's
like
first move's an AOE.
So I'll use something like Night Sisters. Because he'll do
Night Sisters works very
well. He'll do whatever captive thing on the weakest ally for no fucking reason. So you send in the Night Sisters with no zombie, and you send in like Initiate. You have it like gear fucking 7, and he captives Initiate, and then kills him, and you just win after that because it's he just escapes, and I feel so fucking bad because I love Hondo. He's one of my favorite characters. But it is such a failing of Hondo as like AI and everything. It just so hard.
That's part of how I don't like how CG does some of the new character development in this game, is that I get there are teams that they can do that. Like, Padme is a good example of, they brought in 3 characters. You can pick almost 2 other GR characters and make a good Padme team. but you know, the mercenary tag doesn't have the depth to go with that, and so it's like we needed two more characters.
They're adding more.
They're adding more, but you need characters that have the Soldier of Fortune uniques. You can't function without it. They need some sort of way.
And once we get some Bad Batch characters, once we get the Bounty Hunter Asajj, once we get what's her fucking name from the Bad Batch show. What is giving the missions? We got Roz. We got the other bitch.
Fee.
What's the other name?
If we get the Trandoshan lady, I will flip my shit. Please no.
Not the Trandoshan lady. No, who's the other one?
It's Fee, isn't it? Fee.
Fee. There we go. Yes, Fee.
Because I think we talked about it last time, and I for some reason I thought Fee was Roz, and I was like, they can't add Roz. Because that's Mrs. Scribble's name, and I will get confused.
I just need them to add.
If Fee comes in, Fee can absolutely do some good work over there.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, I also want them to utilize light side characters for the mercenary tag. That's my biggest issue with it too.
Fee would be light side, I think.
Split teams are kind of a detriment to how this game works. You have run the same problem with Hut Cartel when it comes to Datacrons and a couple other things as well.
Yeah, dude. Like you're saying, like people who would like leave what's his name, freaking Lando off the team, so they can get the extra health and protection from having more dark side characters on the team. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, the only team where I don't really feel it hurts so much is like a Seer Malicos team, but that's the only instance where I felt like it's okay not to have the level 3. But it would be better if they could, but they just, that's not.
Well, and I think the reason for that, why we don't see that as much as a detriment, is because we almost always use the Seer Malicos team offensively. Because it's just so easy to exploit defensively that it doesn't matter as much. But you see Jabba on defense a lot. It's just like people will alter the team comp just to try to favor the Datacron set, which is their prerogative. But, it's just one of those things where it's like split teams have always suffered from that because there are good mechanics that you can't utilize under the team. So it's like, what's the point of bulking up my team if the pivotal lynch point, aka Bausch on a Hut Cartel team, doesn't get any bulkier or can't get damage immunity or can't get whatever else goes with it, and they're just easy to pick off as a part of that team. And so that's just kind of where I look at it. I'm like, it's they've kind of made a box that they're stuck in, and I just feel like if they're going to keep introducing new factions, that new faction needs to be a complete team.
Yeah,
because it just really.
At the same time, though, like Jabba teams, like some of those mixed teams are really fucking good as it is.
Yeah, they are very good.
Like they're really goddamn good teams. Like Malicos, that kills a lot of shit. Like they would
and it's
better
fun as well. I'll be honest, Malicos is one of my favorite teams to use.
Like Malicos would do better with more like full team things and everything. And like if those level 3s affected the entire team, but he's still just wrecks.
Well, but I think the solution is to have next set the level 3s are only neutral.
I love it.
That would be
make it happen.
That would be some funny shit.
So just Hondo, and plus Hondo. Mercenary and Scoundrel will not be one of the factions that they cover, so he can't get like a level 9 or a level 6.
Nope.
But he will get the level 3. So
because you, that's why.
I just wonder what they're gonna do, like if they're gonna do anything with the like what the new faction's really gonna push towards, because that's like the whole new era thing, right? It all leads to an event or a new journey character or something of that line. And so it's like, what do we bring in that's gonna because if they go down the mercenary tag, if it's a mercenary, it's gonna go under Balin. Like no matter what. And so it's like I'm just looking at CG and like, okay, so what's the point of this? Please let me know.
What do you mean?
Oh, just the mercenary tags in general. Like what are they building up towards? And
like a new mercenary tag. I would imagine if they bring in a new mercenary tag, like we're saying Fee. Like if Fee comes into the game,
she could be a leader.
She'd be a leader. Yeah, 100%. Like I think we have very, very small chance that like anybody they bring in that's a new character, like for a mercenary.
She'll be a neutral leader because there's no fucking way they give her light side. She's a bitch.
The thing is,
I think that's a really good call. Actually, I think she really could be the second neutral character. She's, I think, on par with Hondo.
Yeah,
they need. Well, They need to go through though and fix the existing characters though, or give them some Omicrons or whatever else, because the swath of available mercenaries is absolute dog shit as a mechanic, or the leadership needs to be so powerful that it carries everything. It's
yeah,
one of the
well,
two.
it probably will be, right? That's the whole point.
No.
Well,
that's usually how they do it when they do this sort of thing. If we know one thing. All we know for certain is that the next set is going to have 5 Bad Batch, and it's going to have some mercenaries. It would make sense if at least 4 of the Bad Batch are mercenaries, and then we probably get someone like Asajj, maybe we get Fiend, maybe we get... Who knows?
Yeah.
Right? So, for them to introduce any additional mercenaries, either it goes under Balin, or they create new leaders for mercenaries, which they said they were going to do anyway in the future at some point. And we've got way more mercenaries than we have leaders. We've got one mercenary leader right now. So
we have 2 mercenary leaders.
Do we?
Yeah, Kira is a mercenary leader.
Technically Kira, yeah.
They updated her kit.
Does she pass Soldier of Fortune around?
No.
No.
She doesn't.
Does she do anything with Soldier of Fortune?
No.
So there you go.
She's not generate Soldier of Fortune. So
but she does have mercenary synergy in her kit.
She has mercenary synergy. Yeah.
One ability, I think.
So
yeah, her unique.
She
right?
is a leader who is a mercenary, but she's not a mercenary leader.
No, she's a leader of a far more very effective meta team. Yeah. Oh no! Wait a minute. That's Dash.
Faction.
She doesn't even lead the team that she was released with. Oh, bless her.
The prepared faction. I'm sorry.
Poor prepared faction.
What?
Oh, that's too good.
Team.
The ill-prepared faction, maybe.
I mean, in fairness, most of the prepared faction are mercenaries now, so
they are
winner.
Yeah.
I remember actually when I first joined the game. I think the marquee that was active when I joined the game was Nest, but I wasn't level 85, so I never saw it. So I missed the marquee for Nest when I played.
Oh no!
And I remember going through Squad Arena, and I was like, what the hell, who's this Nest character? How did these guys have Nest? I've never even seen Nest. And I remember checking the dates. It was like Nest came out the week I started playing. Ooh. So I must have been like level 25 or something back then.
And you didn't get that hyperdrive bundle? Come on.
It didn't exist back then.
What the fuck?
It wasn't even a thing, and I didn't wail until I met you. So.
You could have
time travel harder.
Yeah,
okay. World between
go
worlds.
to the world between worlds.
Exactly.
You can still wail on the marquee though. You just can't do the event. You can only do the marquee at level 85. Yeah, but you can still buy the packs without being level 85, right? Like they're not gated.
I don't actually know.
I believe so.
I have no idea. Would CG limit their capacity to earn
probably not
money?
Probably not,
right?
I imagine.
Spend harder, boys.
Yeah. They'll probably have like a 99.99 pack to get a 7-star Jedi Knight Anakin and Snips.
Along with 5 Omegas.
Yeah, five Omegas and 10 purple ability mats.
They're the currency of the realm, apparently.
And 100,000 credits. It's a bargain.
It's a bargain. It's truly a bargain. I don't know what you're bargaining for, but it's truly a bargain.
And disappointment and debt, mostly, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Oh, pain.
We've discussed. I've seen Izzy in the chat over here has asked a question. Do we think that CG are burning us out with the rapid release of new characters? By definition, burning the game out because they burned Lord of the Rings to the ground with the same model. I'll give my response first, and then we'll do a round table over here. My response is we can't compare Heroes of Middle-earth to Galaxy of Heroes because Heroes of Middle-earth did not have the infrastructure of Galaxy of Heroes. Does not have the game modes, does not have the PvP, there was no GAC, there's no territory wars. There was barely a raid in Heroes of Middle-earth when they started releasing 3 marquees a month. It was heavy, hot and heavy, with no actual content to play the game. Galaxy of Heroes is a 9-year-old game with well-established game modes. That being said, 2 marquees a month is very, very heavy, all the same. I think we'll be fine regardless. I want to get McMull's thoughts on this because I know McMull did actually cover Heroes of Middle-earth, so he was aware of the structure and everything that went around there. So what do you think, bud? Do you think they're going a bit too hot and heavy?
This really... Maybe I'm crazy. This doesn't feel like a huge increase in the release of marquee characters. This feels like about the same pace as before. Am I crazy?
It's a slight increase.
It's a slight increase, but it's also been like this since like March.
It's been like this for a few years, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we're a far cry away from how messy Heroes of Middle-earth is compared to this. Like, this is in a much better state than Heroes of Middle-earth ever was. A couple marquees a month is really not that bad. And I also say that playing Marvel Strike Force as well, which is like 3 to 4 new characters a month.
Jesus, one a week? That's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, every month they like bring in a new team and you have to wail out on like 3 new characters. It's awful. So this I don't think really they're trying to burn things out. I think that they've figured out how to set pace here with these releases. I think that I really don't think it's bad. I don't know, maybe it's just I'm just so desensitized to it. But
I could feel the same, to be honest.
I don't really feel burnt out with this new character release method because it really doesn't feel like that much different from what we already have.
And I will say that comparing it to Heroes of Middle-earth was literally 3 characters a month. Every month. It was 3. 3 marquees is a lot.
I mean, they only lasted like 3 months, so it's hard to remember.
Yeah, it was, I think it was from like June till December. And then the game was still technically available until May, but the developers cut all content after Christmas.
You did a video on how that game screwed up so many things.
Yeah, I did. I mean, you could write a book on it, really. But I'm not saying that the current release schedule is not difficult. 2 characters a month is still pressing things, but at the same time, you don't actually have to get every new character immediately.
I think it's good.
You don't have to wail
on how relevant the new character releases really are. You know, like the recent couple of things that felt kind of prescient because they've been releases for Galactic Legend Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So it's been we got to get these things. Oh, we got to get this stuff. You know, get ready for this, get ready for that, and everything. I think it's really going to depend on, you know, how relevant the new characters are and what they're actually doing, what they're being used for, and that sort of thing. So like you're saying, it's not a crazy increase from what the path we're currently on. I think it is an increase, not a ridiculously significant one, but I do believe it is an increase. So it's just going to depend on how relevant everything really is. Do you need to get all the new characters? Do you need to get all the new stuff? Is it going to be, you know, new assault battles and new this thing's coming out and they're cycling things out over here and you're just sort of fucked if you can't keep up with that? You know, are they going to go hard into that sort of thing, you know, with the cycling assault battles out and forcing you to whale in the new things to keep on getting rewards? You know, it really depends on how they proceed with things, and it could get kind of nasty. It could be, you know, relatively tame. It's really going to depend on CG and how things end up playing out. So
I am convinced that this will go over well if CG communicates at the beginning of every era what everything is leading towards. We no longer play the game in the dark.
Yeah, so that's not going to happen.
Well, they did say in their post that was the kind of their intention.
It's more transparent now than it used to be. I mean, they've already told us we're getting Bad Batch, but we don't know what that means. Is the thing, right?
Yeah. Well, but they said they would go into more detail when the episode goes live in January.
Yeah.
And so my hope is that CG is far more upfront about where each era is going and what's doing, so that players have the ability to just decide then, hey, I don't need to invest in Bad Batch day 1 for a new territory battle mission or planet, right? Like, I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to. versus being like.
To be fair, I think a TB planet is probably like the easier way to ease people in, because that to me feels less time pressured than like a new raid or a new legendary.
I'm just saying in general, if we know what the era is leading towards, it makes it much easier for the players to decide if they need to engage or not. Because like basically since the Ahsoka
I doubt they
announcement,
actually go that much to detail. But sorry.
I mean, I'm hopeful. That's what they said in the era post, that they would. That's what their intention was to be more upcoming with what each era was doing. But it might just be episode by episode. But I mean, I can't imagine if you give the cat away by name what the era is, like it's not going to be like, oh my god, I wonder what else is coming.
When they dropped Padawan, Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon, and Queen Amidala, did they mention that they were going to be needed or a good team for the battle for Naboo?
Yeah, they did.
For the raid, yes.
Yeah, because we had Gungans beforehand.
No, not for the raid. For the raid or for the assault battle.
No, not the assault battle. The raid. They didn't tell us about the assault battle.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking. Okay.
Yeah, because they said they were going to be a very good team for the raid.
Yeah, and that's the kind of transparency that we definitely need. Like, if they're dropping us a raid team, we need to know.
Well, because like the raid is short term, but the assault battle is long term.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
but I mean, you were double dipping on that one anyways, because you were going to bring this team up for the raid.
But like that's what I'm like. If they communicate with us for the short term, but not for the long term, then that could be.
So with Marvel Strike Force, like as much crap as I give them, every time they drop a new team, they're pretty clear in what their intentions are. Like,
okay,
when they drop a team that's like, hey, this is going to be like an Apex Alliance War team, like they will tell that in their communication, so you know what you're getting into before you go purchasing the team.
Sure.
Like you know, is this for a game mode I care about?
Yeah. Quick question: I don't play Marvel Strike Force. Are the pricing structures different for those characters where they say this guy is not as important, or do they follow the same pricing structure?
What do you mean by that?
So is every marquee at the same price, basically?
Yeah. For SWGoH, all the marquees are the same price. Like they're all the same shit. It's all the same everything. But Marvel Strike Force, as
far as I remember, each character release pack is the same. Now they're expensive shit, but yeah, they're
even if they communicate and say this character is not as important, it's still the same price. Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Because that's sort of what I would figure with what happened with SWGoH. Like they're gonna say, this is more important. This may not be as important, but they're not adjusting prices. Like the marquees are gonna be the same price. Like that's not changing.
Yeah.
It'll be $12.99. They'll have the same packs, they'll have the same everything. So
this current structure is way better for marquees than most other things are.
It's a lot more affordable, but I mean, the thing is, from a free-to-play perspective, it doesn't matter how affordable you make it.
Free-to-play doesn't matter.
It's always going to be out of people's reach, because they're not going to look at any microtransaction and think, I'm not spending 150.
I will say, getting all these newer characters required for Conquest sucks dick.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
That's how it's always been.
It has always been
Conquest
like that,
released.
But
it's got like 4-star Gear 10 Imperial Remnants and Morganelle's Great Mother's.
That's how it's always been.
You can. My argument is
the newest characters, the newest teams. Like
my argument is on this is that you can
rewarding the whales.
You can still get like gold bucks, and you can still get the Conquest character in five editions of Conquest instead of 6, which I think that's a reasonable thing to do for a guy that doesn't spend any money. Maybe like the people have a sense of, I deserve to have everything right away all the time, even though I'm not an end game player and even though I don't spend money. And I mean, I think there has to be a little bit of tempering expectations when you're taking that. Like when I was free to play, and I did that for 4 years, I always had the expectation of, I can do very well, but I'm not getting the latest stuff as soon as it comes out. I'll have to get a new legendary the second time or the third time it drops. And I was okay with that. It's like, I just have to wait. And like, I get it. It's annoying when you can't do a feat simply because, there's like Sector 5. I have to win with Balin in the team. And I missed Balin because I didn't have 4 Relic 7 brand new marquees or 5 Relic 7 brand new marquees the day it came out. And it's like, yeah, you just wait, you miss out. It happens.
Most of the time, like those ones will just be like for 2 key cards. Like it's not like a crazy sort of thing.
Yeah, you can drop like 34 key cards, I think, and still hit red box.
Yeah, like most of those like have those character unlocks or surviving things. They're not all that bad. Sorry, McMull.
No, it's fine. It's a little frustrating this time because you have one sector that requires Morgan Elsbeth to survive. You have
one my god, yes.
Yeah. And then you have another one that's like you need both of them to survive. It's like, bro, come on.
Yeah, they really burned that pretty heavy. I'll be honest. Like, I have those guys at Relics. I mean, part of the reason was I rushed through Conquest. So I was in Sector 5 by like day 2 or something like that. And I was like, shit, man. Like, they've got no stamina, like, at all. And mine are all like Relic 7.
Stimmy packs.
Give me them stims. But yeah, they really concentrated on Impermanence and the new Night Sisters really heavily. Well, I suppose Mercenaries as well. Yeah.
I think for the most part, the marquee release schedule isn't going to be massively different than what we saw this last year. And it's kind of been the trend that they've been on for a little while. So I don't think that's
slight really increase,
yeah,
because not crazy different.
Because they have said outright that because people take that infographic as like God-given fact that we're getting 2 marquees a month. And they already said that that's not a guarantee. It won't always be, but they also said that there is going to be a holiday episode, and holiday episodes don't have any marquees, which sounds like that'll be every December.
It's gonna be just like the holiday special for Star Wars.
Yeah, it's what we see this December should be what plays out every December. Is that it's going to be there? Nothing happens besides maybe a GL release or something of that nature, but no marquees will come during that month.
Also, they said like for the whole marquee structure thing, like they said there'd be like it was the eras, the episodes, I forget what the whole breakdown fucking was, all the terminology and shit. I gotta look at the post.
Eras and episodes,
episodes and marquee.
They said guaranteed in the first section there would be a marquee, and then sometimes there would be a marquee in the second section of that. So it's not guaranteed for that one. It's like a sometimes kind of thing. And they said that one I think was going to be like more of a free to play kind of marquee. So it's structured differently from the first marquees of that. So I'm kind of interested to see like how that plays out and like
I don't think it's free to play. I think all they said is that the second marquee.
No, not free to play. I mean, like it's gonna be different than the first marquee.
The only reason it's
free to play.
Yeah, sorry. The only reason it's different is because they'll introduce a quest that comes with that marquee event that will give you the 20 shards for that character that you would have gotten with the episode pass. That's the only difference between the two marquee events.
Okay.
So to answer your next question there, Izzy, with new marquees coming out every 2 to 3 weeks, how do you keep up? You either pay or you don't. That's literally it. Like the only people that are free to play that are going to be able to keep up with marquee releases are those people that get first in fleet every single day and are at least in Kyber. Not Kyber 1, you could be in Kyber 5. Those people can technically keep up by literally only refreshing Cantina and Mod Energy every day, and you will save up enough crystals over a 2-week period to get the first level, the first star, to get a new marquee to 4 stars, and that gives you a 5-star marquee character every 2 weeks. That's not getting a 7-star, getting everything, but it's literally endgame players that are operating right at the top. Those are the only people that are going to be able to keep up with this without spending. The rest of the player base is you're going to have to spend. Like that.
That's gonna be a big old quotations keep up over here. Because if you're doing that and not refreshing everything over here, how the hell you get your signal data? Like
no, that was including refreshing Cantina. I would never not refresh Cantina.
That's like you're cutting it really close over here, doing all those refreshes and being able to actually keep up with the releases and whatnot. Like it's gonna be freaking tight.
Oh, God,
unless you're actually spending over there.
Yeah.
So like it's definitely
you're not like most people in the free to play bracket are not going to keep up with new marquees. They're going to have to be very specific in the way that they develop their rosters. It's just the way it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or this is a resource management game, and that is something. And for free to play, You have to figure out what teams you want to focus on.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, we've got what Imperial Remnants, Mercenaries. We have the 2 new Night Sisters characters. Like, that's a lot of stuff to keep up with recently.
It is.
And you have to figure out what's important for you. What do you want to focus on?
That's why I'm kind of like concerned as to whether like CG is actually going to communicate, you know, what their intentions are, because I feel like they want to have some degree of. You know,
I think they'll communicate
what's going to happen. We don't know. You know, where's your resources going to go? You know, some sort of you know, degree of doubt in that whole thing. I guess so to say. I doubt they're going to be like exactly clear with what their intentions are.
Yeah, but like we know that keeping up with everything is not important as much as it used to be in this game because of datacrons. Like everyone who
but if
missed
they change things. I mean,
but
if
everyone
they
remove
assault battles, they're removing assault battles.
Well, that's if, but you know they aren't.
They're cycling things out.
No, they're not. They reverted that.
No, they said they are.
They reverted that like a week ago.
Reverting what
are you
now?
talking about?
They added the assault. They added the assault battle back in and changed the release cadence. They already reversed that.
Yeah, but only for the 9 though.
Well, for the current
they've made it clear that we'll get the 9 marquees, not 9 marquees, sorry. We'll get the 9 assault battles each month, but future assault battles.
Yeah, it's very clear. They're cycling things out.
Well, sort of.
Eventually, but just not.
But they're going to. But what they're doing is they're removing the assault battles that people have like the old characters for, and favoring the characters like the assault battles people have the new characters for. Which they're you know.
So what I wouldn't what I wouldn't be surprised in the future is if when they release a new assault battle now, they're going to pair it up with a historic one, and you have to choose. So it'll be like Places and Power or brand new Bad Batch assault battle. You can do one or the other. You can't do both. So people who have got the old team built up can choose to do the old assault battle. People who've wailed on the new marquee get to do the new, probably better rewarding assault battle that gives them better shit.
I feel like they're just going to cycle the older ones out and just say, do the new one. If you don't have it, go fuck yourself.
Maybe.
Well, yeah. All this
maybe they will.
They're going to explore how to handle the cadence when more events become available. That's all they say about that.
Everyone is saying they are burning the player base to the ground without spending. People are very dramatic. I'll be honest, Dizzy. People are very, very dramatic.
Yes,
that's a lot of doom and gloom.
Yeah. We get that a lot, Izzy, and I'm not trying to minimize what you're saying here. But the realistic side of it is in games like these, you should never expect to keep up with people that are spending money, and that means don't expect to get every single marquee at 7 stars and Relic 7.
It's a microtransaction mobile game. Wake up! All right,
not gonna happen.
Spending in the game though, that's the thing that drives me up a tree. Is everybody wants the newest toy and they should be able to get it for free. If that existed, this game wouldn't still be around. Like
it exists for a very small subsection of the player base. Like literally the people that are finished, that you're like you've got 12.5 million GP like me. Like, I'm pretty sure that if I went free to play at this point, I could at least get to 5-star on every single new marquee character that comes out, because I'm in Kyber 1 and I hit Fleet first every single day. And I know that I can choose not to refresh normal energy, not to refresh fleet energy. If I didn't want to, I couldn't refresh mod energy. And I could still do triple refreshes of Cantina energy and save enough crystals up in a 2-week period, being in a 650 mil GP guild, to save up enough to get a 5-star marquee for every release. That's not 7 stars, but that's something.
Even then, you're really stretching over there.
Oh, yeah, really stretching. But that's what should be expected, right?
Look at like Calvin Awesome as a great example over there. He's in a good guild. He's free to play and whatnot. So he's getting some of the releases and everything. But he's not getting 5 stars every time. Like that's just not happening. He's farming up free to play. No. He's getting things as it's going. Obviously, he's still in Copper 1 because he just wrecks face.
He's fucking phenomenal. He's got amazing mods. Knows how to play the game. Yeah,
he knows what he's doing. But you know, it's not always the most important thing to have every single most up to date character at this point. You know, unless they go and add in another, 5 teams on defense or something like that, you
Exactly.
with the power condensing that's going on, you can get by. It doesn't really matter all that much.
That's been the big thing that I just keep coming back to when people complain about not keeping up. It's like, it doesn't matter. Everyone who didn't get Balin is missing nothing right now.
Pretty much.
I agree.
Nothing really happened. Great Mothers is only because of the Kron, and outside of that, you could have wailed on the one character on her own and substantially, impacted your viability inside of GAC with that Kron and that character. But those happen so rarely in this game that,
and nobody could have seen that coming either. By the way,
yeah. Well, until the Kron got played and you had the ability within the event to see how to catch up. But that's the thing, is like, so much in this game right now is down to Datacron farming, which is like, okay, if you aren't playing at the top of the Kyber, which basically at this point, once you drop into Kyber 2, Datacrons kind of fizzle out.
Lower Kyber 2.
Lower Kyber.
Well,
with the squish now, Kyber 2 is actually
out of Kyber 2.
Out of Kyber. Sorry, I thought you said once you drop into Kyber 2. Sorry, I misheard you.
Out of Kyber
Apologies.
2. So
Kyber 2 itself is still very competitive.
It just becomes one of those things where it's like, you're not going to be facing these same things, but there are better ways to impact how effective your roster is than keeping up with marquees, and Datacrons is that way. And that is, again, I get that Conquest is a challenge for some of the smaller accounts and to be able to stay on top of everything and keep forward with that. But pound for pound, Conquest and your ability to farm Datacrons and your ability to keep focusing on Datacrons will have a larger impact on your GAC success than keeping up with the Joneses on buying every marquee. If you want, the only people who really need to do that, and need is a strong word here, are the people at the top of Kyber 1 that want to have every toy in the sandbox to be able to trip an opponent up or whatever else. And I feel like that's the problem that everyone gets caught up into. CG has dumbed down to a massive extent the need to win or be good at the game besides pride.
That's actually true. Yeah.
There is no real reason to strive for everything besides your pride. And so it's like, that's the one thing that just blows my mind with a lot of people. Well, I can't keep up, and that's just not, what's it matter? Like, it doesn't have a real massive impact on what you're going to do or not do over the course of time.
And the whole pride thing feels pretty toxic too, because they've stated pretty pretty clearly they want you to go 4-5, 5-4 in GAC. So even if the whole pride thing feels like pretty predatory.
The only people that genuinely have much higher win rates than like 60% in GAC is like fucking Aesop Rocks.
Yeah.
Who's just probably has like a 90% win ratio because he's literally right at the very fucking top.
Well, because he's got the Erodiums guys come in.
I think that helps. I think that's probably at best a third of his matches that he faces off against 5 mil GP players. I bet the rest of the I looked a couple of weeks ago, and his GAC matches must be so depressing because his GAC brackets are like that one guy from Erodium and then the same 2 guys that he faces every fucking week. Like that's his GAC. It's like you've got like
Fatal.
You've got like 4 players and a random dude from Erodium.
I think Fatal, like the last week of GAC, he had 2 streams where it was just like, hey, I'm just gonna just stream, and one of my Patreons is gonna go and stream his GAC because I got a fucking Erodium matchup, and it's just boring as shit. It's not, come on,
it's not gonna be fun. I mean, I would make it fun in my chat. I'd be like, okay, which Ewok are we taking into solo this team?
Yeah, right? It's just like, you got all the GLs he's not clearing anyways. Who the fuck cares? Let's just place everything on defense and just fuck shit up because you can.
Yeah.
But,
no, that's not fun. But I think the point we're trying to make is that we have to get away from the mentality that you need to have everything as soon as it comes out. You really don't.
Right.
Or keeping up in general. It's not...
The only times that I feel like it's a little bit more imperative is when they release something like a new raid, and it's like, if you don't have
raids are
half of the teams, you can barely make a dent in the raid. That's when it really sucks, because raid rewards are the best rewards in the game. Somebody in chat mentioned saying Conquest is the most important game mode. That's bullshit. Raids is the most important game mode. Conquest is probably second. But
Conquest it's arguable.
It's still close. It's closer than most people
very
give.
close.
It's close, but I mean, come on. Like, at least I suppose with raiding, you can say technically I can get most of the benefit from my guildies.
No, raids. Okay, I guess you could mooch. Yeah, that's for sure. But no, I mean, even
raiding is so good.
Raids are your basic like gear income. Like that's your basic bullshit. That's like all your actual basis of stuff. Conquest is some of the best characters in the game, and your daily crowns and everything. So I mean, it's also they're comparable.
It's also
it's tough to say.
The like what part of the game are you in? What part? Like, how old is your account? Because the newer your account, the more important a raid is. The later your account, the more important the conquest is. But that's only because you're probably already on top of your raid teams. So it's like going into GAC in Kyber 1. Let's say going into GAC in Kyber 1 and you don't have the latest conquest character. That's shit. That's usually really bad. Like certain ones, Luthen, it didn't really make a huge difference. Going in without like Ezra Bridger Exile was a pretty bad one.
Man, Luthen was pretty dope with the support cron.
That
was some wild stuff.
I'm not saying he was bad, but he wasn't like the deciding factor between winning or losing. But it's like
he held the wall sometimes. But yes,
of course,
he's not as significant.
Whereas if you did not have teams that could perform well in the raid, then you're not going to be in a position to gear those characters.
You're not going to have a guild take you in if you're not, focusing on those.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah. The guild factor. Yeah, exactly right, McMull.
Yeah. So it's like I would argue that raids are more important, but there comes a point where you should not be missing your conquest characters. Like, but that's pretty late game. It's pretty late game, and it gets to a certain point in your roster where maxing out conquest is actually pretty damn easy. Especially recently. Recently, the feats have been very accessible.
Dude, this conquest round, it's a breeze. It's a freaking breeze.
Sorry, I need to respond to Mrs. Scribble. 1 second, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
It's got Wi-Fi.
We're talking about how easy conquest is. So, I mean, Scribbles knows. He's already got red crate. This conquest, holy crap. Okay, actually, that is the other thing. If you have the teams, oh my god, it's so freaking easy. If you don't have the teams, like if you didn't invest in Great Mothers, you didn't invest in Morgan and Bill and everything, then you're fucked for this conquest. But if you actually did like the basic bullshit, then you're fucked.
Like Deus makes it like when I'm not having to use those characters, the Imperial Remnant or the Great Mothers, like that I don't have geared up, like it's a breeze tearing through those battles, but like trying to get the feat to have them all survive, and it's like, oh yeah,
the survive one sucks. The survives one do really suck, but there's quite a lot where you don't need to have them survive.
Yeah, the one that's definitely killing me is when battles with full Imperial remnants. That one's giving me.
Okay.
I'm assuming you don't have like DTMG. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
He was he Conquest one? No.
He was a Conquest character.
Yeah, he was Conquest,
but quite a while ago now. Yeah. But you would have been. I don't think you were playing the game back then, actually, McNull. So.
When I came back, I think Seer had just finished in Conquest, so I think it was. Who was that? It was this time last year. Who was that Conquest character?
I can't remember. Karth will know the math on this.
No idea.
What?
I'm putting him on the spot now. Because it's every 3 months, right? So who is... The last one was fucking...
He was a year ago. Come on.
A year ago?
He released just
Mattis.
Before the bow event.
Okay, third try. Last year was DTMG.
Yeah.
Malicos, somewhere around there.
So DTMG was the Ezra Conquest from last year. Because DTMG released just before Boa's event came into the game.
Okay, yeah. So that's when I came back, and there was just no way I was gonna be able to get DTMG. I finally got him through Proving Grounds, but I've got
what a farce that is too.
Oh man,
Dude, Proving Ground sucks ass. So
I wouldn't know. I've
feel
never
so bad
tried.
for you.
I don't
Neither have I.
understand-
But
I
But
don't
it
understand
sucks.
why CG did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Malgus Proving Ground is a load of horseshit.
So, just responding to Big Ninja in the chat here, he says he's a 7.8 million Erodium 2 Kyber 4 floater. Floater. Conquest is more important than raids. Datacron's the only advantage. I counter argue with you do not need to focus on Conquest to farm Datacrons. You need to get to Sector 4. Bonus node. You don't need to be red boxing Conquest to do that. And you'll get you'll get 90% of the advantage from Conquest. The rest of your time you can focus on raids and get really good rewards to build your roster and account quicker. You're going to get more rewards than winning GAC matches from being in a guild that's doing really well in the raid.
Exactly right. Like the rewards from GAC, I mean, pretty much, again, like we said, their goal from CG is for you to go 4-5, 5-4. So if you've sort of, got your equilibrium,
you'll always
over
hit a
there,
cap eventually.
then you're fine. Like your raids get you most of your actual, like the bulk of the gear, the bulk of the actual like relic, like that's where most of your shit actually comes from. So it's, I don't know.
At some point,
let's-
raids
let's-
are a
let's
circle
all-
jerk, though. They are.
Let's all just be realistic about this. The best rewards in the game now are, of course, the season pass for the episode.
That's true.
Dude, oh my god, the
episode pass.
season pass, the episode pass. Holy fuck.
That's high value $20 right there.
So we've been talking like guild and chat and all sorts of things recently about like, oh, where are you spending all your your currency and like what's going on with this? Like, oh, I got so much
Dumping
currency
it.
on it, I don't even know where to spend it over here. Yeah,
Dumping
I'm like dumping my currency and whatnot. Like, oh, it feels so bad dumping the currency, but all the value comes from the actual episode pass. Like the amount of Omicrons you get, the amount of fucking relic materials you get, the amount of fucking like full Kairos and droid brains, and just it's crazy.
I am going
It's
to
fucking wild.
take this moment to go. This is the basis of that we see R10 next year.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Because
Relic 10. Sorry.
Relic 10, yeah.
They're talking about like a droid. I was
Yeah,
like,
no, he's not an astromech. He's not an astromech.
For 10.
Latest series.
R10D69.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, brackets 420. Blazing.
With the
He's from Blazing
first
Squadron,
introduction of the Naboo territory battle, and then now the Peridia one, and now the number of droid brains are adding with the episode pass. There has been a large influx of R9 materials into the game. And so I'm pretty convinced that sometime in the next 6 months R10 is a thing. They might stop it there, which will be good.
I really hope not, because I'm not doing sub goals for Relic 10. All right, it's not happening.
Wait,
I think 10 is the cap.
I can't give you money to R10. I'm a gun die.
No, I agree. You can't.
That's not true,
dude. I will not make R10.
If I PayPal'd you $1,000, there's no way you would not R10 it.
Okay, what character do you want, Karth, and when?
I think it's time for him to take R10 onto Jedi Knight Guardian.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the only thing that I think is part of what delayed our Relic 10 in the first place, was that CG they try to incentivize R9 by going like, look at what tanks get out of R9, and then realize like after they implemented that there is no reason to R9 anything else that's not a tank or doesn't scale off of relic levels. And so
there's like mastery reasons, as you said, for relic levels, but yeah.
Yeah, like I would love to take General Skywalker to R9, but there's no benefit to him.
Well, he is one of the few attackers that does, but it's very minuscule because he can use that protection that he gains from R9. That
he gains percentile protection boosts, doesn't he?
Well, no,
he
doesn't.
He gains 15% per 501st allied, doesn't he?
He gains 6,000 protection from going to R9.
Yeah, he doesn't get a lot, but if you're running in full protection, it does effectively double. So he gains another 12,000 protection on the character if you're running him all protection primaries where you can, and good protection secondaries in the mix. So he does gain a benefit. Same with Luke. He gains some benefits from having that larger stat pool in general.
Well, yeah,
But,
because
yeah.
the master's teaching or whatever that
Hey,
does.
yeah, hold up. Sorry, Karth. No, I was right. At the start of battle, General Skywalker gains 25% defense, 15% max protection, and 25% tenacity for each other 501st. So that's 6% already in a full team is going up by, what, 75%? So
it'll go up by if
Is
it's
each
like
ally
4K.
or
is it each ally or each other?
No. At for each other 501st. Apologies.
So
yeah, so it's
60%.
60%.
60%, yeah.
So he'll
Yeah,
gain.
Wish didn't tell me that because I'm looking at his R9.
As
And you're like,
Inaptness says
Yeah,
in chat.
it's one of those. It's one of those things.
Corner's looking real tempting right now.
I know. There are a few attackers that gain from it. Actually, the I'll give you the spiel on it real quick. There is a handful of physical damage attackers that gain from it. Luke and Gas are two of them that I can riddle off the top of my head. The other ones are any special damage dealer like Ben or Drogon, because special damage increases
they get a lot
more when they go to R9 than they do in other respects.
Yeah, their flat bonuses are a lot more drastic than the physical damage dealers in general.
And then after that, it's basically tanks and Galactic Legends. And then the last caveat to that is any character that by default has a scaling relic attribute to them.
Yeah, which is like every new marquee ever.
A lot of them, a lot of them do. But
But a lot of like people who gain like some things off of like their mastery are also very good contenders for Relic 9, like JTR. People bring JTR to Relic 9 because the evasion mastery stacks up.
It stacks so much
really
faster. Yeah, higher base mastery makes her stack up to
stuff like that is also a good like argument to bring characters to Relic 9.
Yeah, but JTR is also a tank, so like
she double bubbles, baby.
Why not? Why isn't she already there? That's all I'm saying.
But I mean, you could say that about Cal, though. He's not a tank. I'd quite like an R9 Cal Kestis.
Which Cal Kestis?
OG Cal.
Well, yeah, but see, Cal is a support, but has a very fun mechanic with him that actually makes it worth your time because of the bonus protection is based off their total health pool. So the larger his health pool is,
and he's got evasion mastery. So.
Yes, and he gains 9,000 health as a support going from RE to R9, so he gains even more. It's just it is a nutty thing to have. There are there are reasons to do R9s on certain characters, but it's
what support character is new and gains from higher masteries and also has evasion mechanics that makes me very happy.
General Syndulla?
No, Ezra
Exile.
Exile.
Know where. Yeah, so we don't even have her kits in the game yet.
He's an evasion mastery character with loads of health and a turn meter swap, and I have him a Relic 9 because of a sub goal, so I'm a happy chappy.
Hashtag rigged.
Hashtag grid? Grid?
That too.
Oh yeah, him as well. Yeah.
That too. But yeah, there are things that help with that, but I think with the massive influx of R9 materials coming down the pike is that
I think we could do with one or two more assault battles yet that give more relic.
Well, I think we'll get another one by the time we get to summer anyways. I could almost guarantee that that we'll have another one that shows up.
Gridden was summoned. Yes, you were. Yeah. Yes, I definitely think we're getting more because like it feels like the writing's on the wall when it comes to that with the response to assault battles. So
yeah, there just seems to be like such a push for it now that didn't exist. And, the average player, if you're willing to put a little bit of money in the game, is now going to have a drastically increased.
All I'm asking for is the next assault battle. Could they just give 100 of each signal data per tier?
Yeah, take away the Kairos, take away
all
the mod material.
Everything.
Yeah,
all the relic materials.
I'm good on Kairos.
Just let tier 4, 5, and 6 be single data, and then tier 9 just be droid brains. Nothing else. No Omicrons, no Gerda keypads, just droid brains.
Just droid brains. Yep, and I will be happy. I'll refresh that as well.
Yeah. Repeatedly, as much as you let me.
They can keep the 5 million credits though, because I'm breaking the bank on mods all the time. So,
that's fair.
And then I'll be okay with them releasing Relic 10.
But that's just kind of how we're gonna wind up going. It makes the most sense to me that R10 comes out probably sometime, summer, early fall next year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I need to pee,
Probably should,
so
Allegedly.
do your thing. Allegedly.
Get a bucket.
I've got some empty bottles here, but it's a bit narrow. I don't think I could. And it's not that. Yeah, it could be difficult.
I mean,
I
the
believe
only
in you.
difficult part that I would see is just stopping in time. But
I
anyway,
believe in you, Scribbles, and he's gone. Sorry.
that's
It's
my
too late.
that's my other tinfoil hat for next year is that all the Conquest units will be GL lifters.
I mean, so Vader.
See, who still needs a lifter?
Vader,
just-
JMK, Jabba, Leia, and JML. So
Does Leia need a lifter?
for what power level they're coming in with Ahsoka, my answer is yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
That-
I don't know. We'll see. Because Drogon's got the GAC Omicron.
One,
Yeah, one.
Yeah, I
But-
made the mistake of putting that Omicron on him. I was like, I've got Leia built. I'll throw this Omicron on.
It's solid.
It's a
it
decent
held,
one.
but it was the best under his when they had his Datacron.
Oh yeah, when
really-
his Datacron was around. Oh my god,
that max
that
health
was so good.
multiplier was bullshit. But
Dude,
no, there's
that was so insane.
I'm convinced that CG is going to lift the other GLs up with a triple GAC Omni character, and if not that, as well as, or sorry, in addition to that, a TW Omicron character as well for every GL, because Ahsoka's power level is so high that I
Yeah.
do not see how you can reasonably combat it if you don't have it.
Right. Yeah, man. Like, for me, it's crazy that she needs 3 R9s to unlock, and I have a grand total of 3 R9s in my roster right now. I've got Radis.
It's
Luke,
weird to
and
think
Leia.
about that. Yeah.
Like if I wanted to go for Ahsoka, I'd have to double my R9s. It's like man, that's hefty for me. Which is why I do not intend to worry about her right now. I'm still trying to play catch up.
Well, and on the backside of it too, I'll relate to my earliest point though. The majority of people that are going to have Ahsoka day one are going to be people in Kyber 1 and the occasional whales strewn across Erodium and the lower levels of Kyber that have just fallen and don't give a shit about GAC. And then you'll just stare at it on the board and lose all your GLs to it. But
yeah, that's the fun part is every now and then I get hit with some guy with like 14 mil GP down Erodium too. I'm like, what the hell are you doing down here?
they only play GAC if they can win, and and by that their one battle does better than your one battle. That's how most of those guys go. And I mean, Scribe and I've had this talk before. It's like if you are a player who spends a fair amount on the game, GAC means nothing to you outside of pride because like it's just one more vault for the month.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to spend that level of cash, it's just one more vault, and then I don't have to stress about playing GAC ever.
Yeah, and that's why who's the guy with a full R9 account? Isn't he like
There's a few of them now?
Somewhere in like Bronzium. Because he just doesn't actually care.
Nomad Reaper
Nomad, that's
is the name of the account, I believe, and I believe he is nowhere near Kyber, if I remember correctly.
That's really
But he was I think he was the first player to R9 everything.
He was,
there are a few of them now.
Let's have a look. He is in Chromium 3.
Oh my god, Chromium!
He's only in Chromium 3 because he recently started climbing. And that's literally it. He's literally got an entire roster full of R9s. He has 281 Relic 9 characters, and he's in Chromium 3. So these guys, these are literally the biggest whales in the game.
Yeah, but
and they don't care.
When he bought out R9 on his roster, though, I guarantee you that was about 15 to 20 grand in that time that pack was giftable.
Yeah.
Like, it was a massive spend.
Oh, yeah, huge. Without a doubt. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like the players that are like that, they just don't care enough to worry about their GAC. That's kind of where I'm getting right now with GAC too. It's like, it's not worth the stress and headache to keep up with everything. And so it's just like, if I don't care about it, I just, buy a
Well,
vault and I
excuse
drown
me,
my sorrows in my newest character.
We care about fucking around and having a goddamn good time.
And finding out.
Yeah, that's
All
why
right.
Scribe
That's
plays
what
that
GAC
account
is about,
on Fridays.
right?
Yeah, that's why Scribe plays the account on Fridays.
It's just
But
been a little
usually
bit
it's
too
too-
wild these last couple of Fridays. I've been too blasted by the time I finished my GAC.
Let's be fair about the whole process here.
Yeah.
Usually by the time you get to my GACs, you're always blasted in the first place.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, but now I'm too blasted.
oh yeah, no, you cognitively can't even know how to click the buttons at that junction.
Yeah,
is where
well,
you're getting to now.
sometimes in my defense, we do start it, but we get maybe 2 battles deep, and then I get distracted.
Yeah, well, that's your own GACs. Like you get the first battle in, and then you're on a hype train with 200 subs, and then
And 6 shots deep in 15
Yeah.
minutes, and you're like, no, what happened? Yeah, it's yeah, I'm a poster
Scribe's
child
entire-
for liver failure.
Scribe's entire battle plan right now is to get the first battle in before taking shots, so he can at least get credit for doing.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I do try to pace it. I'm like, guys, we'll do 1 shot after every battle, but sometimes I forget that rule. And we haven't done
And
1 battle yet, and I've done 5
then-
shots.
Yeah, and then by the end of it, you're just too sauce, which is fair. I don't
Yeah.
complain about it.
Yeah, I mean, your
like, my-
GAC results are probably improved. So
I mean, they not really, because I honestly just go in and do one. Like my entire 3v3 strategy was I went big defense, all GLs, all triple omni GC characters, and then if I could clear North and Fleet better than they could clear anything else on the board, I would play. If they cleared 3 zones, I did 1 battle and was done.
yeah, I will maintain though, for the most part, I did win most of the time. But I
Yes.
think that was less about my performance and more about your defense and modeling Datacrons.
It played a role.
It played a role. I think it played a role. Yeah.
But yeah, my head's at the point where I think CG needs to will need to bring up the power level of the existing GLs, and so to do that, we're going to do Conquest units and Journey Guide characters, and they're going to just slam them in.
Yeah, the weird thing is because both those teams, I mean, Jedi Master Kenobi already has a Conquest character in Ahsoka.
Yeah, but no Omicrons, and
Well,
Omicrons
yeah,
are adding so much to the power level.
Plus-
you see her getting boxed out now with all this instant defeat immunity that you see.
Yeah.
This team now.
And plus, I would argue as well, try running JMK without Cat. Like,
Yeah,
he's like not a GL without her.
but what he needs now is another.
Yeah, he needs
Conquest
another triple GAC Omni Conquest
Yeah.
character.
To be honest, though, when they do Lord Vaders, they should just make it that it just puts Maul out of the team.
Who
Because-
do you think would be the lifter for Lord Vader? I would go with Padme's ghost. Yeah, just goes up and he just goes nuts.
No, it's 4 new marquees, all of younglings, and he systematically kills them one at a time and gains
gains their
additional
mastery?
Yeah.
Just like throw him in a tank and like puts him on display, like in that episode of Kenobi.
Do the reverse of Malik. Instead of killing the Jedi and they fall out of the stasis tanks, you put the younglings in the stasis tanks as you progress.
So, I know y'all are joking, but I'm gonna answer this
Were we?
seriously.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
What?
okay.
What? What are you doing? This is
Yeah.
completely serious.
Some completely
So-
serious.
If I was given a serious answer,
Hmm.
I would want the sun from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, not the
Yeah,
literal
exactly.
sun.
The Mortis gods, the sun.
The
from
Mortis Gods episode,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Not the celestial body, you mean
Man,
a
that would-
god. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be nuts because that's
Right.
like, in terms of lore, that's like way up there.
Right.
Yeah, that would be super nutty. I think it would almost feel like the when CG feels like they eventually need to do the thing that trumps GLs. It will be the
Yeah,
Mortis
right?
gods.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I would be cool.
That would be like Bane actually being like C being the lifter for Bane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
no, that's absolutely the case. That is absolutely the case, and it gives me no small amount of pleasure the fact that Bane is normally like, nah, fuck you, see, I'll just take
Yeah,
Sith
yeah.
Assassin.
I'm fine on my own.
When I heard they're like, oh, he's gonna be a lifter for C, and I'm like, well, shit, there goes me farming
Oh.
Bane. And then I looked at that kit and I was like, oh, I don't need C at all. I just
No, no,
Wait,
you don't.
hold on. Here's what we'll do. We'll do young Tarkin as the lifter for Lord Vader.
Could we call him Yarkin?
Yeah, there we go. We could call him Yarkin. It depends on what they do with them. But
Yarkin.
I don't know what they would do for Lord Vader, because it would either be some form of like Palpatine, like Emperor Palpatine before he gets confronted by the Jedi or something. I don't know what they would
Chancellor
choose.
Palpatine. Yeah.
We could do Darkseid Chancellor Palpatine and then let him be the lifter. I don't know what they would do, but they have some options. But I mean, they didn't stop him from the first time they introduced a Conquest unit with him. You know, they're like, well, here's Maul. It's like that's
some random dude.
Works. Yeah. Who has no right even being with him on the battlefield.
Yeah,
but, you
Maul
know,
was literally the dumbest thing they possibly could have chosen to be a lifter for Lord Vader.
Yeah, that's
literally
like
the last, like the siege of Mandalore. Maul went out of his way to orchestrate an entire battle on a planet and orchestrated a Republic siege on his planet, specifically to draw Anakin there to kill him, to deprive Palpatine of his prize.
But
that was
it's a
his
good
entire
lifter,
goal. That was his entire goal. It was fuck Anakin. We are killing this guy because I hate Palpatine so much. We are depriving him of his prize. But they're like, you know what? No. Perfect lifter unit.
So what we didn't see, Wolfie, was like the off-screen is when that Maul actually met Anakin and he was like, actually, this guy's kind of chill. We're besties.
Yeah.
That's the part we didn't see. Yeah, that was in the cliff notes.
You guys clearly didn't.
We had some death sticks.
You guys clearly haven't watched the Star Wars Lego
extended cut.
thing,
Yeah.
Where, dude, the Star Wars Lego thing is so good.
Maul survives, and Lord Vader and Maul are fighting over the Death Star.
Oh my god, dude! The Star Wars Lego thing with freaking Darth Jar Jar and everything. Yeah. It's so good. It's so much fun.
I actually haven't seen it.
Holy crap! It's Scribble. It's a lot of fun. That's all I can say.
To be fair,
it's a lot of fun.
In Galaxy of Heroes terms, Maul being on Lord Vader's team doesn't really make any less sense than Malakos being on Seer's team.
That's true.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
In fairness, though, at least they all exist at the same time.
Well, Maul existed.
Yeah. They did.
It's just not in the time of the. He was technically alive, but we didn't know that at the time. This
might be the wrong word. Interacted might be the better way of phrasing it.
Interact. They did interact.
You could maybe argue that like Malakos could be like trying to still play off like he's one of the good guys. The early of the game.
Yeah.
And,
he was just a traveler, right?
He's a traveler. He's just some weird shirtless dude who's just hanging out in Dathomir with
just chilling out.
No camp or no nothing. He's just on his own.
I'll be honest though, Cal's
village, it just makes sense.
I know the sequel to Fallen Order was Jedi Survivor, right? But his survival skills were pretty fucking shit. If he had no suspicions of the random, suspicious, very, very mysterious cloaked figure that was just chilling out alone on Dathomir, surrounded by all that shit. He was just like, this guy's totally non-threatening.
Yeah, I mean, just sitting there like, it does not raise any red flags.
No red flags
to
at all.
Explain it, that it was like he had gone there to hide from the purge, and that they kind of try vaguely, but Cal just is like, you're an ex-Jedi, like I can trust that. You're like, oh buddy, I wish you wouldn't.
You're like, really, you're not getting evil aura vibes from this dude right now.
To be fair, he was being chased around by a bunch of Night Sister zombies and
those crazy weird beast things. I can't remember what they were called, but yeah. But that's
the spider ones.
No, they were big clawed beast things.
Yeah,
Rancors?
No, it was.
They were very small for Rancors, to be fair.
Yeah,
but
there were small Rancors.
They were kind of beastly all the same. Yeah. Yeah. But I would be immediately suspicious of a loner just chilling out there, completely apparently unarmed.
Right. He's just like hanging out on his own, like, just
he's
surviving
just doing some
here.
Sightseeing.
Oh, okay. So like, you live here? Do you have a camp somewhere? Like, where do you have a fire going? Are you cooking food? Like, Come on, let's come on.
He was just like, no, I just kind of like tricked and deceived all the Night Sisters.
Yeah, I don't know how we thought that was a good narrative, but you know what? It was.
I mean,
a fun game.
he was a cool villain. You know, just saying, Cal is.
Oh yeah.
Not the brightest crown in the box, maybe.
Yes,
Nope.
Not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Yeah,
that is for sure.
Yeah.
So, as it were.
We should get the tunes from Jedi Survivor. I want new Merrin. I want
Yes, and
I
her
want
tight jeans. Yes,
gothy girlfriend Merrin.
Ooh.
I want her.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Listen, if she comes out with as much cake as General Syndulla does, I'm gonna have to find some way to mount.
Dude,
You'll just have both of those two on the same team, and you just be like, I don't even care about the result.
Yeah. I'm gonna battle
like,
constantly just for the
I
visual.
press battle, so we all win.
Yes.
You know?
There are no losers in this battle. Yeah. No, we should totally get some more Jedi Survivor characters, because we've only got the one so far.
Well,
I'm surprised we don't have Grease. Like, why do we not have Grease? That's weird.
That's a good question.
Well, get like a pilot
Yeah.
Grease.
Oh, come on, give me Jedi Master Seer Jinda.
Yeah.
Have me go toe to toe with Vader and almost kick his ass.
So yeah,
Oh my God.
it's good.
Or at
times.
least the Bodhi, not Bodhi. Is it Bodhi? No.
Bode.
What's his name? Bode.
Yeah, Bode.
Yeah, he would be cool to have.
Yes, it would. Right, we do have 2 questions because we need to wrap this up.
Trap ducks.
It's late for me.
Yes.
So we've
It
got
is getting late for sure.
Born Gino. Question: can you discuss the state of CG customer support? No. I mean, we could try. And the ways that the community can engage with Meathead to ask for improvements in the dismal support structure of CG. It's got a dismal.
So what you do is you say something in this chat, and the scribe is like, "Oh, I'll message Meathead," and then scribe messages Meathead.
Don't make me a funnel point for everybody's picture.
I mean, you can reach out directly through the SWGoH Events Discord server to try to get a hold of Meathead, or try to get a hold of him directly through Discord. But I mean, through their own channels, they do have a way to try and reach out. But it just depends on what the issue is and why the issue exists. Because I know for a lot of it, the only thing that EA does in the game is handle purchases.
Yeah. Don't go through EA. Don't go through.
So
High
if you have any issue with purchases, you can use EA. If you have any other issue outside of that, you don't use EA support because they're not going to do anything for it. As for now, I don't know the who to contact anymore, because it used to be CG Top Hat was who you.
That was a long time ago. Yeah,
and I'm pretty confident he's not there anymore. And I don't know who their employee is for that either.
It used to be Top Hat and Leviathan, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think either one of them.
I don't think either one are. So I genuinely, and this probably does raise an interesting point, is I genuinely don't know who you go to with customer support issues. Now, I don't know if you genuinely are asking. Meathead is the first port of call. You should always go to him. He is the community manager of the game, and he is very responsive and does the rounds. So I would start with Meathead. But I don't know, Born, if you're actually asking me to talk about the state of CG support or to help you. Either way, I can...
To reiterate, though, is the best he can do is pass it along, and then he might give you an update. But
he's the community manager. He's not the support department.
He's not.
I'll be honest.
Yes.
Because I'm reading your chat over here. You said the interactive support, and they engage and then go quiet. I cannot speak to the support department. I've not interacted with them before, so I cannot vouch for them.
I've never tried.
Say anything otherwise.
Well, and the other side of it is I've had dealings with it in the past.
I can't try and gaslight you.
Yeah, I had dealings with it in the past, and it usually took somewhere between 24 to 40 hours to even get a response to a message, if you were lucky. And then it depends on what you're trying to talk to about, because it's like, some issues they're just not going to have an answer for you because it's not their policy to solve that problem. And so I have a hard time taking a dig at CG here, because 9 times out of 10, the reasons why people have issues is either it's device related, they're on an outdated device that's no longer supported, or they've done something they shouldn't have and they've been banned. And usually when you're banned, they're not going to even really give a response to.
I mean, he doesn't say he's been banned, but
no, it just
message doesn't say it's been banned. I mean, that you know, you can because I remember quite recently, didn't they set up a thing to appeal a ban? Right.
Appeal
so there's something there, but in order to help Bourne, we'd need to know more about what's actually going on.
Well, like, I in general chat asked that question, and all I got out is that they can't log in to their device no matter if they uninstall, reinstall, or whatever else. And I asked, basically, I was like, well, have you tried any other device, like PC client, BlueStacks, a different mobile phone, something that's newer, up to date? There's a lot of things that you can go through on that process, but I mean,
so when they log in, do they just get like a new player account?
No further information.
Oh, okay, fine, yeah, because like all I have from experience is like Android. And Android, your account is tied to your Android Game Center account. I imagine iOS has something similar, and then the PC client is tied to your EA account that's attached to the email address. So it's like they're two different they're different login methods that ties to the same account. So it's like I've had it plenty of times where I've like if I've logged in on the PC and then later logged back in on my phone, sometimes it'll log me in a brand new account. And I'll have to like go, no, I need to sign into my Play account, and then I'll need to restart the game. And it's frustrating. But I've never been permanently locked out.
Yeah, it's done that on BlueStacks to me before, but then I just close out the app and restart it. And then, because otherwise you have to go all the way through the tutorial to log into the account. Which is a taxing 20 minutes. Same thing happened in Home, but Home you couldn't get out of it. Well, if Home did it to you, you were screwed until you could go back in and log in.
Oh no!
Oh man, that's rough.
20 minutes of tutorials just to get through to log into your old account, and now you have another useless deadweight account that doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah.
But the short of it is that I'm lacking way too much information to even give you any kind of help, like without hands-on seeing why the account can't log in.
That being said, though, a whole month is actually like that is unacceptable. To be honest, it shouldn't take a month to sort that thing. Now this is under the proviso. If this is like just completely kosher, like this guy wasn't hacking or like committing credit card fraud or something like that. You know what I mean? If this is just a kosher deal. Exactly. Using a VPN to go to a different country with cheaper crystals. And
he's got a Chinese account.
Exactly.
Game of the system.
If everything is kosher, there is no way it should take CG support staff a month to try and fix it. That is unacceptable. But, you know, is what it is. So, yeah.
Yeah, it just depends on what was there, because some of the older stuff too is the same reason. Like the one guy in the YouTube chat is saying that they never linked it to an iOS or Android, so it was always like a Facebook account, and so they never had a way to tie it back to one of those. So and
technically, it's a guest account.
Yeah, so technically at that junction, then you're going to be in big cans of.
They would have to have the player ID code, and nobody writes that down. That's like the 16 character long thing that you see at the bottom. And like your ally code is one thing, but your player ID code is something entirely separate. So if they've never they've never registered with any one of those devices, I understand why that's difficult. But if they had their ally code, surely they'll be able to go to CG and say, this is my ally code. But then CG has to look at it from a case of, how do I know that's your account?
Well, exactly, and that's the problem you run into.
They're not going to give you access to a random person's account.
There's the problem. You run into so many issues of they won't touch it on the fear of being wrong.
Yep.
And so it's like I would need to see everything you've ever done to explain why in this situation customer support was failing you. Yeah. And otherwise it's just too much of a challenge. I've worked with them in the past. It's not fast, but I've never really had a problem when I had a problem. but that's been my experience with it.
I'll be honest. The only times I've ever had the need to contact CG support is when I've accidentally spent like 5,000 crystals buying a pack when I've clicked on the Bronzium, but it's not loaded fully, so it's given me a pack and I've already clicked purchase, and that's technically my fault. Because I'm clicking buttons too quickly. But I look at it and I think, I don't really want to go through the hassle of trying to claim this back through support. When you've done something like, I've accidentally bought 16 shards of Boss Nass when my Boss Nass is Relic 7. It's like,
I've been there.
I could go through the hassle, but I can't be arsed. So I'll chalk that up as there goes like fucking however many 1,000 crystals.
Yeah, right.
It sucks when it happens, but hey.
I've been there.
Without more information, Born, I'm not sure how much I can help you, so we'll move on to the next question. But you can talk to me in Discord, DM me directly, and I can see what I can do, but I can't make you any promises. So Mananel comes out with the next question. Do we riot if GL Ahsoka Tano is not part of the next raid? I've been seeing some predictions about a Zillow Beast raid. Who wants to lead on this?
I will, and I'll tell you right now, if GL Ahsoka is not part of the next raid, I think that'll be probably the best thing that happens to the community. Because she is too expensive to be a raid character. It is going to lock you out of that really hard. And if we're thinking they do the Peridia raid, which, that's been your speculation, Scribe, we're thinking Night Sisters, Mercenaries, and Spectre +1, and maybe Imperial Remnant.
Yeah.
Those are three of those four factions are fairly new, and that's going to be a large ask for players to have up and running at Relic 8 or higher, well, not really necessarily that high, but to have it relics for the raid in the next 3 months. Like I think that would be better for the player base overall if GL Ahsoka and Spectre was not a part of the next raid. I don't know where they're going to go with the next raid at this point. With Bad Batch being the next season, I'm a little apprehensive as to where they go with the next raid.
Give or take, I would say we got about approximately 0% chance that she's not part of the new raid. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, how can she not be part of the new raid? It's a new GL. It's gonna be there. Come on.
Last one
easy. Last one didn't have one.
Yeah.
How do they not include her? Okay, the last one didn't have a GL because the one before that had a GL.
Yeah.
When there was a new GL, it was Leia.
Conquest instead of Galactic Legend.
Leia had a new Leia was the new GL, and she had her own fucking raid, just like Jabba had his own fucking raid. And then, as said,
I understand where you're at. I don't think it's coming.
There's 0% chance like she's not part of the new raid. How did they not do that?
I'm almost very closely in agreement with Wolfie here, just because until we had Bad Batch announced, I was like certain it would be Peridia. I was just like, it has to be, right? Because everything just kind of falls. It should drop around sort of April time. It would make sense. Gives people like 3 months to farm new GL Ahsoka, yada yada yada. We probably move into Thrawn. That buffs out the Imperial Remnants.
What month do you think is gonna drop?
About April.
April for the new raid? I thought it was be earlier than that.
That's supposed to be like every 9 months, which should be...
the last raid came in July. So 9 months from July would be March, April time for 9 months, right? Yeah, July 2nd.
Now, in fairness, historically, neither raid has lasted 9 months.
No, it's been like 7.
I think I was just like hoping that this raid would be fucking over soon because it is so painful.
I think
that's probably just like wishful thinking on my part.
I think Crate Dragon was 6 months and the Speed Bike Pursuit was 7 and some change.
Yeah, I think if they do still release a Peridia raid and people don't have GL Ahsoka but they can use Hera, right? It's still pretty hard for like non-endgame players to engage meaningfully in the raid. So they would have to give you a wide selection of like Night Sisters and a wide selection of Imperial Remnant. And technically Mercenary is a very big faction, but there's not a lot of leaders. So it's like they would have to do something in the vein of what they did with what they did with the Naboo raid, and they gave us like nobody would have thought that one of the leaders that we got was going to be like fucking Lumi, right? Was it Lumi? Like
Luminara,
Yeah,
and
they
Keller
made-
and Beck.
exactly.
Kelleran
So
was
what if
fine.
Kira is a fucking lead for some reason because she's a
Well,
mercenary?
they just give them
right?
modifiers for mercenaries that make it work.
Exactly. That's
Exactly.
the point I'm trying to
Yeah.
make. So they could theoretically do it, and then they can have GL Ahsoka be almost like an underman victory. You could
Yeah.
use General Hera, but you could also go in like solo GL Ahsoka, and you could get really good score. So they could make it work, but I have my doubts. I have my doubts now.
The fact
so-
that the next era has nothing to do with the raid, I kind of in my back of my head, or at least in the raid we thought was coming, is it gives me a larger swath of doubt that they will do Peridia as the next one.
Yeah,
The
same.
other side of that coin is too is like in that same vein, what do they do with that next raid as well? We're anticipating something coming out by the end of the first episode or by the end of the first era for 25 to be related to the raid.
Yeah.
And so in my head it seems a little weird that they have no run up to the raid and they just go, okay, everything from the last tail end of last year is now all your raid requirements. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It gives me cause. I would just say it would be better overall for the player base if they didn't require Ahsoka for the next raid. It doesn't diminish the fact that there's a high chance that she still will be, and that Peridia will still be the next thing, and that they'll just coincide it with the next release of Balin as the here's what we're doing. It's unrelated. We'll find out more in the beginning of January.
Well,
when they start
I
the
think
era.
I think that's partially right, but I also think that there's an opportunity for CG to queue us up when they release GL Ahsoka. So GL Ahsoka comes out most likely around the 18th of December, 21st of December, something like that. And with that release, they'll say, by the way, before we disappear for Christmas, we want to give you a little bit of insight into what's coming next year. And they'll be like, here's a little bit of information about the mercenary Bad Batch era that's coming up. And by the way, in April, March, we're going to release the such and such raid, and you'll need the following characters. And, that will be, because we had quite a lot of time to prep for Battle of Naboo. They gave us like 4 months.
We did. We
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
so
Well,
much time
and-
to sit there and predict
Yeah.
what was going to be.
Well,
Oh
but
my
they led with that because of the Gungans, though, and leading
Yeah.
into a new legendary, they kind of had to let you know that that's where that was headed.
Mhm.
But did they make that announcement with Queen Amidala or with
No, it was with
Boss
Gungans. No, did Gungans come before or after Queen Amidala? I can't even remember.
Well, Queen Amidala's conquest was finishing while the Gungans were showing up, but was she announced?
I remember
I don't
that
remember.
they said something about her with the Naboo raid. I remember that.
I remember that too as part of her kit reveal, which
Yeah.
would have been
Yeah.
3 months,
Months
prior to
yeah.
release. So I think it was kind
Yeah,
of
because we had Padawan, Obi-Wan, and Master Qui-Gon by then, right?
They were no. Master Qui-Gon, I think, showed up within a few weeks of the raid going live.
Was it a few weeks? I thought it was within a few weeks of her final conquest.
Oh,
So
so
let's have a
sorry.
look.
Yeah, no, sorry. I have them backwards. It was Jar Jar's event showing up just before the it all went live. There was so much going on dropping all at the same
Queen
time.
was definitely
So
before then.
Master Qui-Gon Jinn came out 23rd of May, and the raid released a month and a bit later, a month and 2 weeks later, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So he came out like 6 weeks before the raid.
So he was the last one to show up, wasn't he?
Yes,
and
he was the
then
last. He was the last character, the
Yeah,
last
and then-
marquee.
Jar Jar's event happened somewhere in between there.
Yeah, I think Jar Jar wasn't Jar Jar like the 10th of June or something.
I think so.
Yeah, 10th of June. Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
literally because the raid went live on the 2nd of July. So Jar Jar came out 10th of June.
Yeah.
And then
about 2
the
weeks
event
ahead.
came back in August.
yeah, well, it was like 3
Yeah.
months later, wasn't it? September
And
maybe.
then it's been like half a year since then. And
Yeah.
he pushed back up.
He
So,
just
yeah.
came back out. You know,
I know.
Yeah, he
it
just
was
came
towards
back
the
out.
beginning of-
He
Yeah,
disappeared
like-
for a long ass time, but
like 4 months. 4 months.
so yeah, it's
ish.
interesting. So I mean, I don't think I don't think we're going to get the raid in like January, February or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if it drops in April.
March, probably.
I can see if they're going to do something with the Bad Batch instead, then Zillow Beast makes the most sense, because when you look at the Bad Batch show, unless you're going to do something like facing off against Hemlock.
Hold on, the Zillow Beast was not Bad
Batch.
Batch.
They fight the one in the Bad Batch. They also fight one in the regular. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? The Bad
Zillow Beast is being
in the regular Clone Wars. So
it shows up again.
The Zillow Beast is literally being held in the same facility as Omega.
A cloned Zillow Beast. If you remember,
but they didn't fight it.
No, but they escaped it. They let it loose, and they escaped it.
They didn't fight it.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, I thought you meant like they fight it.
Minor details.
They fight a Zillow Beast in the actual Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
they don't.
You're looking fighting a Zillow Beast, not like a Zillow Beast existing. Come on.
Hey, we could do a GR raid with clones against the Zillow Beast on Coruscant. That's all I'm saying.
No more. I'm in.
Listen, they fought the Zillow Beast there.
If you're going for lore, but they didn't fight. If you're going for lore, then go for lore. Come on.
They fought a Zillow Beast.
You're tricking me here.
They remember when Jabba fought the Crate Dragon on his own planet?
I was going to say that they fought the Zillow Beast just as much as the Jawas fought Crate Dragon. So, but I mean, you could do a Hemlock fight with the Zillow Beast forming a mechanic as part of it. You know?
I mean, you could do a lot of things with that. I just think it opens up a possibility. I'm not opposed to the Pretty Raid. I'm not opposed to the factions at play. I kind of think that makes a little bit more sense in the long run.
And yes, Joe, that did happen.
For the player base, though, I think it would be better for them if GL Ahsoka was not required for the raid or not a part of it. But like I said, it does not diminish the fact that I'm still leaning towards a Pretty Raid, and I'm still leaning towards the Spectre tag being required for the raid.
It feels a bit like unlikely to me that they would do a raid.
Yeah, if
coming out
it's
soon and not include the newest GL.
If it's a Peridia raid, no matter what, GL Ahsoka is going to be a unit that's in it. Like, there's no way they don't.
It also kind of like sweetens the pot for people to go for Ahsoka right away. Like, hey, we got this new raid coming out, and this is going to be.
We have this 6 Marquee, 3 Relic 9 GL. Good luck.
Oh, you didn't do it? Get fucked, nerds.
Yeah.
But you got 9 months to go and get it. Go on. And then somebody gets it 9 months later, and then they change it to the new quadruple R9.
Of like, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't go after Ahsoka, and then they're like, hey, she's gonna be like premier raid character.
If they do require her in the raid, they should start when they release her in the episode for episode 2 of this era. They should mention that in this so that people can make that assessment in advance.
They will do that with her kit revealed. You'll see she has a raid Omicron.
Oh my god!
Now,
actually, joking aside, because
I'm okay with
they're not gonna have a fucking. Obviously, they're not gonna have a raid Omicron for a new GL, but that actually is a good call.
We need a raid Omi.
They have not announced a raid Omicron with any of the new characters.
Nope. And they already have an Omicron, so none of them are getting it.
In fairness, none of the GL teams in the past had. Oh no, that's sorry. Bausch did.
Java did.
Yeah,
Bausch had an Omicron.
Yeah. But Leia didn't.
Leia didn't. No, but I mean, Scout Trooper did. And then what's the current Omicron?
Which was the most useless Omicron of all time.
Yeah, and now we have one of the Gungans.
Right now, the featured faction is Gungans, and Gungans have a raid Omicron. Yeah. So I mean. That actually is a really good shout out over there, Scribe. They haven't actually announced a raid
how about this? How
for
about
anybody on her team yet?
No, but because it would be on. It would be on the. No, she doesn't need one. But
you'd think it'd be on her core team.
No, but I know who it'll be on.
Zeb
Chopper. He's a Spectre.
So help me if he gets a freaking.
He gets an army
mercenary
before
or-
he gets a Zeta.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
It'll be on
I was hoping
Chopper.
you were gonna say Zeb.
I was thinking Zeb at first, but I thought, they might allow him in the raid as part of the Spectre tag. He gets the tag, kind of like how Maul and Sidious work. But you know, they could give it to Chopper, and Chopper is a Spectre, and he doesn't have an army.
That's possible.
So they could give it to Chop. And then that would also work because Chopper would work under Hera lead, like General Syndulla lead. I mean, for the raid. So that could happen.
God.
Could happen. But also, I was actually thinking before I realized you are right. Normally, it's the featured faction that gets the raid army. I suppose that's not technically true with Scout because Scout has a really shit Omicron. But
Pretty awful.
but they could do it with, and funny enough, Scout. Oh, here's another one. Scout is an Imperial Remnant.
Yeah.
And that would be a Peridia raid team. Oh,
Now, and hear me out.
double bubble. Let's go, baby.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah.
What I want with this next raid, if GL Ahsoka is a part of it and Spectre's a part of the raid, what I want is my other 4 raid teams to all have an Omicron that allows me to put the team in, press auto, and go make a cup of coffee.
I'd be okay with that, to be honest. But
because I am so burnt out on this Naboo raid, on the stupid RNG on like the last 2 runs. I'm just like, you know what?
Fuck the Naboo raid. Oh my god.
All
I
of this.
So,
If Eth Koth got an Omicron today that allowed Queen Amidala to just auto the freaking raid, I would slap it on and R9 him immediately after.
So you may have seen him in chat. Nitro Greek, who was hopping out, hanging out around over there. He's my my younger brother, IRL.
Oh, no way.
He got back into the game recently. He hopped into our sister guild, our alliance guild, and then whatnot. He's been doing some stuff, and he's been like messaging me every once in a while, like, man, like, I got like a max score with this raid, like this team in the raid, and I'm like, that's fucking awesome, man. I am so excited for you because you were actually excited about this raid, and I am so just fucking burned out of this shit. I am so just, like jazzed up by somebody who is excited about the raid and excited about the stuff because I am so fucking burned out by this bullshit.
In CG's
it's just
defense.
like, oh my god, can I live vicariously through you, please?
They designed all the teams to be 5-man, so us undermanning Queen Amidala is the source of our own frustration.
It's not
It
even
is,
that.
it is,
It's the fucking Luminara team.
Oh,
with
yeah, no,
fucking,
yeah.
with Eth Kid
No.
Fisto.
This is what you do. This is what you
It's
do.
awful.
You
It's
just
such a dumb idea.
Everything sucks.
You just forget all of that and you quit running Lumi and you just upgrade the 4 other teams enough to get your 10.5. And that's it.
Yeah, technically speaking, Joe is right. Technically speaking, I'm a raid officer. But as soon as we found out how much this raid sucks, it was just like, yeah, I put some strats out and I'm going to check out for the next like 9 months until we get a decent raid. Because, oh my God, it's just painful. It's just bad. It's just, it's awful.
It humors me that the Gungan team is literally like, you can underman it, you can auto it, you can do all these other cool things, and it's like it's relatively stress free. And then every other run, it's like, you ever know the feeling of putting your dick in a pencil sharpener?
Nope.
You're about to for the next hour of this raid attempt.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
We'll get to squeezing, bitch, because you're gonna fit it. Oh man, yeah, it's not good.
So just going back in the chat a little bit, Vice Torn asks, what would the Peridia raid be? And I've been over this before, but it seems very simple to me. It's you escape Peridia. Like, the whole point is trying to get off the planet. So you're battling against either... I always wanted to be from the dark side's perspective. So you play from Imperial Remnant's perspective, and you're trying to fight off GL Ahsoka Tano, Padawan Sabine Wren, and Ezra. And you've got to try and get to the timer to fly off and go into hyperspace. Like, they can make a raid around that. But knowing CG, it'll just be like, you're fighting off waves of night troopers.
It'll be a lot easier for them to do like waves of night troopers, so like,
of course.
You need to, clear through this before the timer ends versus, kill Ahsoka before the timer ends. I feel like One of those is a lot easier
assault
for them
on
to,
Peridea instead of the
exactly,
escape of
yeah.
Peridea.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
escape from Peridea would be easier for them to actually implement and whatnot. So that'll probably be the way that they go.
So,
but
it would be like that. You fight wives of night troopers. Occasionally, the Death Trooper Peridea comes in, and then at the end you fight
of night troopers.
the wives of night troopers. They're also dead, by the way.
Then you fight
And-
the Great Mothers.
Well, I was thinking you fight Morgan Elsbeth, but yeah,
Exactly. That'd be like the final phase. Will be a Morgan fight.
yeah. But I'm
With,
hoping it's the other way around.
Two Death Troopers, surrounding her.
Or at least if they do let us use Imperial Remnants, then you fight it the other way. So you fight off against Ezra and GL Ahsoka as night troopers and Death Troopers and Morgan Elsbeth.
Take the effort to do that.
Yeah, me too.
I
Let us
want
dream,
to
Kath. We
believe.
want to dream big. We want to dream big.
Well, because I mean, honestly, you think about the old raids. You know, you think about the Sith raid. There was big bosses we were fighting against. It was
Yeah, it
a
was
full
cool.
team versus a single character.
Like the Sith Triumvirate
Or,
raid,
like,
fighting
three
off against
characters or
3
whatever.
Sith Lords was just kind of like yeah, that's
And then they
fucking,
all come
that's a
together for the
raid.
final phase.
Or
Oh,
three
yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
But like, they absolutely can do that again in the future if they want to, instead of just doing waves of like fucking enemies. Instead of doing 5 people versus like 9 people, like let us face down an actual big bad again. You know, that's exciting.
What's the problem with having Great Mothers and waves of Night Troopers, but the Great Mothers have a health bar, and the Night Troopers just keep on respawning, just like we had with like waves 1 and 2.
You mean
of
like
the
when
Sith
we
raid and
fight
3.
the ATST
Yeah.
in the Endor battle?
Yes, exactly.
If you
Well,
kill
dude,
the sides,
the
they
old
respawn.
raids were fucking dope.
exactly like that.
Learn from them, please.
Yeah.
Like,
Sounds
learn from
like
them.
And
Too
I'm
much
just
common sense.
actually looking at Scout Troopers raid army. That could actually be pretty good, you know, outside of the Battle for Endor. Imperial Precision's cooldown. So his second special is reduced by 1. Whenever he grants an ally a buff, Scout Trooper's Imperial Precision ability grants 1% bonus damage stacking until the end of battle. Infinite stacking percentile damage. I'll take it.
Done. Awesome.
That's what you want for a raid. As long as it doesn't
Fantastic.
ramp. You have to ramp faster than the raid boss ramps. That's about it.
Yeah. You're good.
So, yeah.
Dope.
All right, Tran, you get the fuck out of here. You're on a speeder bike trying to race off Peridea. Nope.
All right. We got any more Trap to ask questions?
Nope, that is it. That is it. We are
That is
wrapping it
Oh,
up.
man. Because I could
Yeah,
munchies.
Jack
I'm
here from
hungry
YouTube
over
has a
here. I need
nice.
to make dinner.
Oh,
Jack
yeah.
over here from YouTube has a nice little PSA for you. The episode quest for today to win galactic or fleet battles with GR units is counting GR ground units inside of Conquest for
Oh,
that
good.
feat.
Go ahead and use your GR Conquest.
I was using while we were talking, I was using Padme with or Queen Amidala with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon with Great Mothers and Elsbeth for
And
the
it
second
counted? So you don't
Yeah,
even need a full team.
fight. Yeah, you just need 3 Galactic Republic characters on the team, and it counted for the feat.
Easy money.
Okay.
All right, then.
Man,
Okay,
Thank
so
you,
um,
CG.
I will
Good job.
say, McMull, thank you
Also,
so
I
much
got
for joining us
complaints-
today, buddy. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
go.
absolutely. This was fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed, buddy. It was nice having you on,
Yo,
man.
for sure.
Absolutely.
And gentlemen, my co-hosts, it's always lovely to chat to you. I'm sure we'll speak to you maybe next weekend. Are we doing it next weekend? Probably. Maybe. Who knows?
Why the fuck not?
Why the fuck not? I mean, we'll have to talk
Yeah.
about new General Syndulla and how she
Oh
actually plays.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it'll be a
We
good time.
got it's GAC 5v5 join period in the next couple days. So we're gonna.
So the
have some more
important
fun stuff
question
going on.
Is Scribe going to go all out on good old General Syndulla to have her active before?
Well, the real question is, are people going to turn up on Tuesday and try to earn themselves some free shards of General Hera Syndulla? Because hopefully I'll be making that happen.
You have something going on the
I'll be
marquee
doing it.
release day?
I'll be doing a quiz on Tuesday, and winners will hopefully be winning some shards of Hera Syndulla, the new General Hera. So
Well, you
gonna
better
turn in.
post this before Tuesday then.
Gonna make sure that
Yeah.
all your quiz questions are right this time.
Hey, 99% of them were right. Okay, there was
Yeah,
just
that
one that I
works.
fucked up. All right, it's fine.
Yeah,
You got 100 questions?
No, God no.
I'm joking.
I wish.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
What
so, yeah.
time are you gonna do this? This is gonna be what? This is gonna be
Earlier
11
than
a.m.
this.
No, 11 a.m. Specific. So if we, so it's what time is it?
It'll be like whatever this time is now minus 3 hours or so. Maybe
like
4 hours.
or so. Yeah, 4 hours or so.
Probably minus 4 hours. So
right, well,
about this time.
I'm gonna get out of here. You
Yes,
guys.
McMull, it's
you
been a
guys-
pleasure, dude.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining.
Gotta
Absolute
get to dinner.
pleasure.
Nice meeting you guys.
Yeah.
You all have
Yeah.
good nights.
Good shit.
Speak soon, dude.
Toodaloo.
Okay,
Yo.
cool. Thank you, gents. I will see if anybody is live right now, and we will raid into them.
Yeah. Is there a raid target?
No. I'm having a look. Seeing, I'd be surprised if anybody is swiggering. Somebody might be doing Conquest. So Tico is live. So Tico can have our raid. And on the tubes of the Ubes, the tubes.
YouTube.
Looks like Nooch is doing an annual St. Jude's Children's Hospitals thing at some point. So
nice.
I don't know if that's today or some other time. Thank you, everybody. We all love you very much, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another stream, baby. Good night.